Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him.
As birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it.
For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariot like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many.
Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him.
As birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it.
For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariot like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many.
Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him.
As birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it.
For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariot like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many.
Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him.
As birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it.
For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariot like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many.
Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him.
As birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it.
For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariot like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many.
Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him.
As birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it.
For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariot like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many.
Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him.
As birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it.
For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariot like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many.
Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him.
As birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it.
For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariot like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many.
Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him.
As birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it.
For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariot like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many.
Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him.
As birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it.
For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariot like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many.
Like whenever. All right, shalom, shalom. Yabashim Yashar Barakatah. Just wrapping up the Telegram chat. How y'all brothers doing, brothers and sisters? So we are in the time, the season of the memorial blowing of the trumpets. And in fact, about to go ahead and see if we can. All right, so here we are on the first day of the 7th month. This is Numbers chapter 29 and verse 1. And in the 7th month, and on the 1st day of the month, ye shall have an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work. It is a day of blowing the trumpets unto you. All right. So we see here that this is a designated period. And as you read down, there are different sacrifices. And this is something that we talked about in the live stream about how, we have to understand that we are rehearsing the righteous acts. We're not going to be able to do these things. That's why even when you talk to people that are Old Testament only Israelites, if they are not believing in Yahweh Shai, then they're debtor to keep the whole law, like Paul says. So that means they would have to do all these other sacrifices that are down here in this same chapter, which you can also find in Leviticus chapter 23. Okay, so in this time and season, we have to understand what the trumpets would mean to us in these last days. Back then, when you go back into the time of our forefathers, when they came out of the land of Egypt, they only had the first 5 books. They did not have a whole bunch of the other scriptures that we have, the whole complete Bible that we have now. That came later, right? As the Most High began to inspire other men that were his servants to speak and to write. Okay, so when we go into these last days, we also have to look at the symbolism of the different trumpets as well. In fact, in verse 4, it has the yes. So as you see there, I want to see if I can get this actually a little bit bigger. I don't know if it'll work that way. Let's see if we can do something a little bit different. Well, y'all should be able to see it. So you see there in verse 4, and 1/10 deal for 1 lamb throughout the 7 lambs. Okay, it was 7 lambs signifies the completion of a cycle. Okay, just like a completion of 7 days that are in a week. Okay, so when you look at the continual cycle of 7 symbolizes the completion of a period of time. So that's the reason why we do it in the 7th month, because now we're in the 7th month, which symbolizes the completion and the beginning of a new season. Okay, which the season that we're entering into would be, a festive season, particularly with the fall harvest. Okay, so let me see if I could put the link. All right. Actually, trying to see if I could share the actual StreamYard link. It's not allowing me to do it. Hold up. Okay. Well, give me a moment. Let me try and send out a link for this stream. Give me a moment. Okay, so I sent out the link. All right, so yeah, so the 7-day cycle that we're in um symbolizes a time period, and the seven lambs would symbolize, something like the seven trumpets. So we know that the trumpets are symbolized of a different time periods of the book of Revelation, which we're not going to go into it, but we are um, in a certain period in which a trumpet has already been blown. Okay, and then we're waiting for another trumpet for another set of events. I'll put it like that. Okay, so what we're seeing right now in the world is we're noticing a changing of seasons. Okay, we're noticing a changing of seasons that's going to lead to Armageddon. Okay, and as we know that Armageddon is supposed to be the last final great war to end all wars that will usher in the kingdom. Okay, now what is going on right now is that you have the likes of the world leaders right now that are posturing there. It's a fracturing going on what they call, the West versus the global South. Okay, the global South um, and the BRICS nations, because you have the BRICS nations who are now in alliance. Okay, with them. See if I can add the brother Yalsop in. Hey, shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
All right.
You can hear me?
Yeah, you sound good. You good?
God.
Yeah, I was just talking about, just opened up with the memorial blowing of the trumpets and the period that we're in. I think a lot of brothers over the years have already understood like what the memorial blowing of the trumpets is. It's a change of the season. It's the beginning of a new cycle. In fact, when you read in the book of Leviticus, it refers to a season or in your year. Sometimes it even say, sometimes even people look at it as a new year, but a new year just means a new season or a new period of time. So we're entering into what is known as the fall harvest, and this is the beginning, symbolizing preparation for the fall harvest. So we know that in the last days, that there's the Most High is looking to harvest His elect. So a lot of these things that when we go into the festive period is for us to remember like the messages of Yahweh Shai, because all these things pertain unto him. So when you look at your harvest period, you're symbolism of getting ready for to prepare for to reap what you've sown in regards to a harvest period. So even then, the world as is stated now, especially with the powers that be, they've sown many things, and now
God.
they're also going to be soon to reap many things as well.
God. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And it's ironic because I grow, I grow vegetables in my yard. And this is actually the right time whenever you plant it in September, your new crops, late
Con.
August, September, for your winter crops. This is usually the time when you plant them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. So we actually in the right season.
Yeah. I seen somebody doing the there was somebody I saw that was doing their trumpet period like in August. I was like,
Hmm.
man, y'all in the wrong season.
I want to say I forgot who. I think it was them boys that wear the purple. They was on Day of Atonement. Was it
Yeah,
a few
yeah,
weeks, couple weeks ago?
yeah,
Mm,
yeah, because they're on a whole different moon cycle.
wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, the full moon is the new moon for them.
Yep.
So that's gonna, make everything different for them.
Gonna throw it
But
way out.
yeah, but when you see the events, and that's one of the reasons why we have to sometimes we have to wait till we get closer because we don't know. If you look at the predictions of the calendar of when the um, day of memorial blowing at the trumpets is going to come, those that projected it last year had it coming tomorrow night. So that's why a lot of times, unfortunately, we just have to wait till we get closer to the date,
Uh-huh.
before we let the day be fully known.
Right.
So it's not purposely done. It's just that literally, if we did it based off of what our estimate was set 6 months ago, it would have been tomorrow, which would have been incorrect technically, because the
Gone.
new moon came in tonight. So,
Gone.
so that's why we had to wait. But um, but some people made adjustments as well. But you know, we're in a season of man, we're really transitioning into a time like no other. And it's not that it's going to happen so fast. It's the gradual pace of the growing conflict that's brewing on a global scale.
Right.
That we have to be prepared for, even things domestically. Like they tried to kick off this stuff with Charlie Kirk,
Mm-hmm.
tried to foment racial tension by a man who's not even black, so-called
Right.
black.
Yep.
I'm like, man, y'all doing the most, man. These people have had threats on HBCUs.
Yep. And we ain't had nothing to do with that. You know, like they own people did that. That was actually a white on white crime.
Yeah, and the dude had a problem, I think, with the anti-transgender rhetoric of Charlie
Yeah.
Kirk. So it had nothing even to do
Uh-huh.
with his anti-black rhetoric.
Right.
So it was like, come on, man. The alleged man, as they say,
Shutting
allegedly,
down the HBCUs all across the country, man.
man. Why didn't they shut down UCLA and Berkeley and University of Washington, all them
Right.
liberal big universities, man? There's a bunch of big liberal, what they call PWIs, predominantly white institutions. There's a bunch of them.
Mm-hmm.
Harvard, the whole Ivy League is pretty much a representation of liberal, the elite of a liberal intellectualism.
Right.
So
Right.
they should have just threatened those, but they want to start something, uh, but it's the time is not yet. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. The hour is not yet come.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, man, it's a funny thing because I actually had this titled initially "The State of Babylon" because I was going to do a stream yesterday, but I figured let me just get some things worked out on this end,
Right.
and then put it up for the memorial blowing of the trumpets.
That's actually one of the reasons why they used to blow the trumpet, in Israel.
Con,
They
con,
they blew it to gather the people. They blew it for war, and then they blew it to warn.
yeah,
You know, and like that's what we basically be doing. We warning the people about what's going on today in this place, man. Like you were talking about how it's changing. You can see it changing. You know, it's like stuff changing overnight. With this government, and you can see them trying to get closer to the agenda, the new world order agenda, and how they trying to get rid of freedom of speech in this place, which eventually that's gonna happen.
yeah, con, yeah. That's what they're trying to do. That freedom of speech. And it's funny because they asked Trump. Let me see if I can. I can pull up some different clips. Let me Instagram got a bunch of stuff. I like the Instagrams. You can, on the Instagram, man, you can literally just search like you search it in Google, and they'll find different clips that you're looking for. Like if you've seen some,
Yeah.
like I could just type in Trump on free speech. It might have that latest clip. So let me see if I can find some stuff real quick.
I'm using my phone, so I don't know when I try to go to internet or anywhere else. Look like it drops the call. or it
Yeah,
goes
yeah, you're
silent or
good.
something.
If you want me to pull up something that you can remember,
Yeah.
but I can pull up the
Okay.
clip as on my end. So this is the first time of me using the higher end StreamYard, but I think it's going to work out. Okay, so good. I'm able to do live chat messages. In fact, let me I can also let me see if I can share. Let me see. So that's the StreamYard link in the chat for brothers that want to get on. And let me go ahead and read this real quick, and then I'm gonna find this Trump stuff. This is like the brother was saying, Yawasop was saying that the trumpet symbolizes a time that can be to tell the people to assemble. So when you go into First Kings chapter 8 and verse 1, it doesn't tell you exactly what day of the month it was, but it does tell you it was the 7th month when this happened. So it says here at the top that then Solomon assembled the elders of Israel and all the heads of the tribes, the chief of the fathers of the children of Israel, unto the king Solomon in Jerusalem, that they might bring up the ark of the covenant of the Lord out of the city of David, which is Zion. And all the men of Israel assembled themselves unto King Solomon at the feast in the month Ethanim, or Thanim, which is the 7th month. So all the elders of the children of Israel, so out of all the different cities, the elder representation of the men came to Jerusalem, because we know all the people can't fit in Jerusalem, so they have to send representatives, which would be their elders. So in the 7th month, he called them to assemble, and they brought up the Ark of the Covenant. This is actually a pivotal point in Solomon's reign, because it comes with the prayer that Solomon made that concerns us today. That he does
Sure
not
do.
forget us and cast us off, but that if we turn to him and we make and we repent, that he will forgive our people and bring us back into the land. So First Kings chapter 8 is a very pivotal time. This actually First Kings 8, which happened in the 7th month, which more than likely had to be the memorial blowing of the trumpets.
Well, that's what let me see.
Or it could have been the it could have been tabernacles, but I'm pretty certain that this would have to be probably that first of the month.
Yeah, it was. I got it. My book, my Bible for that verse, verse 2.
Yeah.
It shows a correlation with Leviticus 23:34.
Okay.
And let me see. No, it is actually it says speak unto the children of Israel, saying the 15th day of this month, 7th month shall be the feast of tabernacles. You're right. It was tabernacles for the 7 days unto the Lord.
Yeah. So it's connected with the festive period, because the
Right.
different festivals are for the feast. This will be happening, but we're entering into that period. So that's why he was able to call together the elders to come together. But and just like I said, when you go into First Kings chapter 8, it doesn't tell you exactly what feast it was, but we know that there's two high holy. You have the Day of Atonement, but if you see here, this will more than likely either have to be memorial blowing of the trumpets, or it would have to be the first day of the Feast of Tabernacles.
Right.
Okay, and he had the prayer. He addresses the people. Okay, that's what I like about the blue letter. It'll actually kind of give you subtitles. So he addresses the people, and then as you go on, the prayer of dedication.
Done.
The prayer of dedication, this right here links up with 2 Chronicles 6:12 through 39. It's pretty much the same prayer. And then you hear about, the promise that he made to his servant David, right? See, all this stuff when it comes to, that's kind of the reason why, if you go back what I talked about in the Judeo-Christian Empire, the Judeo-Christian Empire of the Edomites, which I was going to tie it to the Judeo-Christian Empire of the Edomites, but I don't want future flagging because they might start
Right.
flagging our stuff down the road.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't believe in 1 Kings 8, which occurred on the 7th month. They don't believe in this prayer because they believe that we were cast off. That's where Paul talks about, has Israel been cast off? God forbid, for I'm also an
God
Israelite.
forbid.
You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? So the belief that Israel has been cast off is what the Christians push. But the funny thing about it is that you got Christians that are what you call Christian fundamentalists or Christian nationalists, which is the same thing as white nationalists. They just use a Christian focus of it. They believe they don't like the small hats, but they want the small hats to do what they're doing because they believe it's going to usher in the kingdom.
God.
So it's this weird relationship where both sides use each other. It's a very weird dynamic, bro, which I had to probably get into about how both sides, the Christian right and the Zionists, how they use one another. They're both using each other. The Christian right uses the Zionists to fulfill what they believe is kingdom prophecies or prophecies in the Bible to usher in the Armageddon and the New World Order, or Armageddon and the kingdom of heaven. But then the Zionists uses the Christians to say, hey, you got to be on our side because we're the children of God. So you got to support us in this Gaza conflict or against any of our enemies that we have.
No matter what.
No matter what. What you gonna say?
No matter what. Yeah. Yeah. But I just seen I forgot who it was had posted, but I wasn't listening to the sound. But it was this it was an Edomite woman. She was getting her butt whooped by the Jews. She was a Christian. I think she was trying to spread some type of Christianity. I don't know if it was in Israel, but it looked like that's where it was. But they was kicking her all in her butt and everything.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Mm-hmm. And I forgot what brother had posted it up. It was a brother had posted or somebody, and he was saying though, like, what y'all gonna say about this, Christians? What y'all gonna do about this? Man, who was that? I just seen it like today. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, I'm on my Instagram with this. Let me see. Man, the Instagram app on the phone is way better than being on the computer. So let's see about the free speech. Oh, you see they got Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, yep.
Sat sure down. Do. Which that's all a setup, Jimmy, because anything that Jimmy Kimmel or any of these people say is pre-scripted. So Jimmy Kimmel, even the way he delivered that joke was like strategic.
It was almost harmless to me. I don't even, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They just had to, you know, do something to make it look like they're doing something.
And Candace Owens, I don't know what she's up to. She keep talking about some garbage, some stuff, and I'm like, what are you on right now?
Yeah.
Let's listen to her. In fact, I got something. Let me go ahead and add that back in. Let me put the screen share. All right, so you see here from Instagram from Baller Alert, Candace Owens turns on Trump over free speech crackdown. I don't recognize this administration. Remember, a lot of people on the right, they're all shills, bro. They're all shills. They're controlled opposition. Okay, because Candace Owens is saying some stuff that I'm like, you know, she's saying some stuff as a woman, like, you can't back that stuff up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
nope.
Because think about it. This man, if Charlie Kirk is your friend and you've seen that he just got murked, and he was clearly one of their number one tools, right? You're in danger too. But even if they're using you, they can always dispose of you. Because,
yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like somebody used to say, I forgot who he said, the white supremacist breaks his tools. You
That's right.
know what I'm saying?
They definitely do that. After they done used it, gets worn out, they get rid of it.
Mm-hmm. It's like Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King was used by the left,
Yep.
the liberal left, which was basically elites. Elites used him because he didn't even write that "I Have a Dream" speech. It was a small hat that wrote it. A small hat wrote his "I Have a Dream" speech, and gave it to him, and then he went to the Washington to go and preach that because they were trying to promote certain liberal policies and try and go more towards a different approach with where they wanted to go. Let me see here. The Candace Owens. There's a video. Let me actually play it.
University above Donald J. Trump and his administration, but I don't recognize his administration right now. I don't recognize what's happening. I have a theory. I do. We were kicking around some theories earlier, me and the team, and we were going, how could Trump be such a free speech enthusiast and allowing these things to happen?
Well, we know why, because he's all part of the elite system. They want to take away people's freedom of speech. These people play right into exactly what they speak against.
Yep. That's right.
like they walk right into it, man. The movie 1984 by George Orwell, that movie, which was based on the book, showed how the right to free speech and free thought was removed in a future society. And the people began to police one another. So when you had certain thoughts, other people, your family, your coworkers, and the people around you, if they saw that your thought veered away from what the government of that time was pushing, they would snitch on you. And they had what was called thought police. If you said a word meant something and it didn't, you were in trouble because they changed the definition of word. In the book, it's called Newspeak, where words were redefined. The right wing, they wanted to get rid of critical race theory, right? They got rid of talking about slavery. They said instead of black people were enslaved, they said that they were laborers or they were migrants. They changed it in the actual books in places like Florida and Texas to stop calling them enslaved, but say that they were migrants or laborers. So you're changing the definition of who the people that you oppressed were within the confines of history. And guess what? The right was okay with that.
Yep.
The right don't want that to be done. That's why Trump, when Trump went about saying he's going to get rid of the what's the museum, the African American Museum out there in Washington, he says, I'm tired of them saying that talking about slavery. We should stop talking about this because this is one of the theories of people on the right, especially the white Christian right. They say that the way to get rid of racism is to stop talking about race, but they're the main ones talking about race.
Talking about it.
Because why is Charlie Kirk going around the whole country with his Turning Point campaign, and he's talking about black people all day? You don't even live by black people. Why are black people such a concern to Charlie Kirk when the stuff that's going on amongst black people doesn't even affect him? Because he didn't grow up with black people. He don't live in a black neighborhood. He don't got a black wife. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he's so obsessed with black people. Most people that are classified as white do not
and
even
stuff
live by black people.
And what he was pushing, it was just straight lies.
Mm-hmm.
He was skimming on the top of the truth, but it was, from what he was saying, it was something deeper than what he was saying to make those statistics to be what they was. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like he pushing like we made up 56% of the jail of the prisons population, but we only 13% of the American population, which means like blacks commit more crimes than others.
Mm-hmm.
But he ain't looking at the systematic racism that's going on, that's putting more blacks in the prisons. You know what I'm saying? Unjustly. A lot of them going in there unjustly. Man. Like I seen a brother was saying though about that. He said that he said he ain't saying that he not putting out there that it's 56% of people that are they're exonerated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, blacks are exonerated at a 56% rate of crimes,
Yeah,
meaning
that's
that they're being charged unjustly. You know what I'm saying? They was
facts.
wrongfully charged.
Facts. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, they
Yeah,
got the little chart of like the percentage of exonerations of
right.
all exonerations are black men, but black men only make up like, even in the prison population, is not even the majority, because it's like 35-40% or something like that. So even when he's talking about the crime, he's not even factoring in that the majority
Yeah,
of prisons is not even black anyway. It's a large percentage, it's a disproportionate, but factoring in, like you said, well,
right.
that's in part because they're being given charges that they didn't do. They're being convicted of crimes they
Uh-huh.
didn't commit. And
Yep.
how do we know this? Because 56% of all exonerations are from black
All
men.
from blacks. Yeah.
And we see it all
So
the
that's a
time. Every month you hear about a new guy that got freed.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Dude was
I
minding
was
his own business, working
Yep,
somewhere. They just grabbed him up and said, you murdered this person.
that's right. They got one over here in New Orleans. He was wrong. I forgot. Spent like 20 some years in prison, man. And now he running for the clerk of court. He trying to run for the clerk of court because they wouldn't. He said at the time he was locked up, he couldn't. They wouldn't give him access to his files.
Mm.
So he trying to get the office and try to get in there and change that. You know, but like to touch on what you were saying about the about um them trying to get rid of slavery, you know, get slavery out of history books. I was just watching a show on, I don't know what it was on, like Discovery Channel or something last night with it was something about God, about um the journey of God or something like that it was on. And they was talking about that the Israelites was not in slavery in Egypt. They was more like workers. I say, come on, man. These jokers
Mm-hmm.
is really trying to change history. But the Bible tell you otherwise.
Yep.
You know,
That's why they want to hide away
them
from
folks
history.
was forced. They was forced into hard labor, man.
The worst.
Yeah.
The worst, bro. Bro, man, like I was we were talking on the stream before you got on the Telegram chat. What Esau did to black people in America is actually the worst form of slavery.
Mm-hmm.
It's even worse than it was in the Caribbean. It's worse than it was in anywhere else, because
Yep.
they literally went out of their way and completely stripped away all identity and cultural ties to our forefathers completely.
Yep. That's right.
Completely. So Esau got to pay. Like, it's bad, bro. Like, if you really study how, that's why I'm doing the nation building series, to show you how a nation is properly built and maintained, and then how a nation falls. It's going, the first part of the series is the rise of the nation of Israel, and then the second part of the series is going to be called the fall of the nation of Israel. So hopefully the end of that series will culminate with what happened here in Babylon and how they're still trying to keep us down. But yeah, Esau knows he got to pay for that, bro. He knows.
You know that.
He knows.
That's a big bill he got to split, man.
Yeah, because you know, like your boy Charleston White, he said the white man don't believe in karma. He said, I don't believe no karma. He was going in. He's like, they don't believe in karma. They don't, because if you talk to Charlie Kirk, he don't believe in karma. That dude Charlie Kirk said he don't even believe in empathy.
Yep. That's right. But you got all these black folks showing so much empathy towards him right now. It's ridiculous. When he don't even believe in it himself.
Mm-hmm. Let me see if I could actually, I got a preset. Why does it let me I think I gotta stop the screen or something. Let me stop this screen. So this is the book of Psalm, chapter 64 and verse 1. Hear my voice, O God, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot the arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly they do shoot at him and fear not. So when it says to wet their tongue as a sword, it doesn't mean to make it wet with water. It means to sharpen. They sharpen their tongue as a sword. So what this guy was doing, Charlie Kirk, he was basically going around with rhetoric.
Yep.
He was going around with the rhetoric to basically diminish, to dehumanize our people, because
and make it sound intelligent, like he's really speaking facts.
Mm-hmm.
That's the rhetoric.
50%. That's literally impossible for 13% of the population and to do 50% of the murders, bro.
To make up 56% of the population in prison. Something ain't right. Something not right there.
That's a systematic issue.
Yeah, something ain't right. The balance ain't right.
Yeah.
So what he really trying to say is that his people don't commit crimes. It's all these black folks doing it. My people don't do it as much, you know. Even though we make the majority of the population in this country, we hardly none of us are in prison.
Man, the stuff that was, first of all, you know what's crazy? He was talking about Jake right when he got killed. That boy said gang violence.
Yep. Yep. And bruh, you know, and what he, and that stuff is, it's like proven too, like, because I'm on the interstate a lot. Who you always see pulled over?
Man.
And I be saying, man, I say Jake can't be the only one that speeds all the time, man.
Jake likes to cruise. Most Jake
can't be the
like
one
to go fast like that. Jake really likes to cruise.
That's all who you see pulled over on I-10. You rarely gonna see Edomite on I-10 stretched out.
Mm-hmm.
Or even just pulled over getting a ticket.
Hey, how many times have you seen a lifted truck pulled over?
Man, I don't even know if I ever seen one.
Think about that for a second. How many times have you seen a lifted truck pulled over?
I don't even think I ever seen one.
Because the cops is already assuming that if you in that lifted truck, you a white boy.
You one of mine.
You know what I'm saying? So they're not even gonna pull you over, and they be going 100 all the time. Especially the boys in them big diesels, them Super Duty, them F-250 Lariats. You know what I'm saying? They be going 100 all the time. But they don't get pulled over. They see you in a Rubicon, and Rubicons don't get pulled over. If you in a lifted Rubicon or a lifted Bronco, they're gonna leave you alone. They pull over anything that's like a Charger or Altima. Because they know what kind of cars. They already profiled the kind of cars that the average Jake be driving. So they already looking at that car. Then if they see, oh, that's a black person in that Altima, I'm gonna just catch them going 10 miles over the speed limit, and I'm gonna pull them over. They'll get right behind you just to see if you're going to, you know what I'm saying? If you're going to go over that speed limit. You're going to start getting nervous. And when they see that you ain't going over the speed limit, they'll leave you alone because it's all recorded. So they ain't going to pull you over unless you got a light. They ran your plates. And they'll run your plates. Think about it. They'll run those plates first.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So Jake is just getting arrested more. That 50% that Charlie Kirk was talking about, no, that's arrested for homicide. Mm-hmm. And then not only that, those that are convicted of homicide that are black are more likely to not be the criminals and more likely to end up being exonerated than any other group after conviction.
Yep.
Look at the RICO charges recently, the RICO charges that they put on these rappers and Diddy. That's a charge that they could put on any white entertainer. They just don't do it.
Ain't that something?
This man, Leonardo DiCaprio be on yachts with young women all the time. He be flying them in and out.
Where you think Jake get that from, man? Jake seeing them do it and think he can get away with it.
Yep.
It's like over here in New Orleans, the mayor. She's a black woman. They just indicted her. because she thinks she can go around and travel the country, travel the world, and spend the city money like Esau do.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been had her under the X-ray the whole time, just watching everything she buy, everything she's spending. You know, her entourage. She getting first class flights for all her entourage, which that ain't she ain't doing nothing no more than everybody else doing. She got a security guard she hired, like an ex NOPD police officer. So and they got this Edomite woman had been following around, just snapping pictures of him. Now they saying that they in a romantic relationship, and she been had him hired as her security guard, you know, paying him money, which is something like a conflict of interest or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, man, I say, where do you think she got that from? She know she a politician. She know how all these other politicians roll. She thinking she can do the same thing, but they gonna put that light up on you and they gonna put you on blast.
Mm-hmm. Man, they did the same thing. They just like they did with Marion Barry, or like they did with
Yep.
uh what's that lady? She out there in Georgia. She was one of the people that was coming up against Trump, and they got her finding out that she was giving money to her boyfriend on the side. He was out there in Georgia. I forgot her name, but she had like a big old controversy. They looked into because she
Yeah.
was making herself. She was talking too much, so they started digging in and
Yep.
being
That's
like,
how
"Look,
you know. And Jake know he can't move. Like he got to move a different way. You know, like the guy that was the mayor over there in Jackson.
mm-hmm,
Him and some of the council women. And I want to say it was I want to say like he was his sheriff or somebody. They all just got caught in a bribery scheme, which was brought on by they think was the governor had pushed that, you know, kind of
mm,
set them up.
con,
Had the feds went there, or something like a contractor went there and bribed them all with some money, trying to give them 10,000 to do something, and they all fell for it.
come on,
Cause you
man,
know these black ran cities, man, these Edomites want control back of it so bad.
mm-hmm,
So they gonna do whatever they don't gonna approve no funds. You know, the governor wasn't approving the funds for the mayor. You know, it would just they make that struggle hard for them.
yeah, yeah,
They'll just let the city deteriorate. Don't give no funding for the roads, none of that in their area.
yeah, until they take control over it, and then they start
They the
gentrifying.
savior. Then they the savior when they get in and they gonna start fixing everything. Like, look, see what I'm doing?
That's what they did with
Uh-huh.
Detroit. That's what they did with
Yeah.
Detroit.
Yep.
Detroit. They did the exact same thing. Now they done took over Detroit. They done spent the last 20 years buying up all the property, getting all the people. They've been doing little things like making the water bill very high. I done seen a whole
Right.
documentary about how the water is so high, the cost of water is so high in Detroit and them those black neighborhoods, and it leads
Mm-hmm.
to when you don't pay it, you lose your house.
South Jackson still having problems with their water, man. The Esau trying to get that city back, just like New Orleans. Remember, remember what Ray Nagin said during Hurricane
Oh
Katrina?
yeah, the chocolate city. Oh, they
The
was
chocolate,
pissed.
hey, whoo, in Chocolate City, and they ain't let that one down yet.
Man, they did
They trying to
not.
get it back, man. They trying to turn this thing vanilla.
Man, yo, I remember you brought me back to that time when Ray Nagin. That was.
Chocolate City.
Uh,
I seen an interview with Ray Nagin, man. Ray Nagin said he did that on you know, he said they had called him in a meeting
yeah.
and they was trying to get him to go some type of other angle as something about it because they was kind of wanting that lower ninth ward.
Mm-hmm.
He said they were wanting to get control of that ninth ward area. And so he said he went up there and he said when he got up there, he thought about it. He said, oh man, I ain't finna go with that. And he said, we're gonna keep this city chocolate. He said, I'm gonna do everything in my power to keep this city chocolate. I bet them jokers, boy, their heart fell when he said that.
Yeah, because New Orleans is like a hub, man. If you you know, if you do it the right way. I mean, it's kind of tough though. I mean, Atlanta kind of had it going, but man, them people taking it back. Atlanta's pretty much.
New Orleans got revenue coming in here, man. They have revenue. They had some little small event went down. It wasn't small, but it was some type of little gay thing or something. I forgot what they called it. But they said I was watching the news and they were talking about how over what they said it was like it was damn 250,000 people came, something like that.
Sheesh.
And it was gonna generate like 350 million. I was like, nah, I couldn't believe that.
They ain't gonna let that go. That they're not gonna let you
I said I can't believe that bringing in that much, man, in a weekend. And so when I did the math on it, I think it came out to like $1,200 per person. I was like, oh, okay, I could see that. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying? I was like, man, that's a lot of money coming in one weekend. And they just had these events go on like every pretty much 2-3 of them a month, bro, in New Orleans.
Yeah, that's what they have to use. They have to use the entertainment. Just like
Yeah,
Houston kind of a lot of stuff was pretty much built out because the entertainment got better, like the eating spots, the clubs, the bars, and then now
yeah,
you bring in the restaurants with that, and then people want to visit as like an escape place. Like, oh, let me just go for, I'm off for the weekend. Let me just go down to New Orleans, or let me just go
yeah.
down to Houston, and then before you know it, yeah, that becomes an economy. But yeah, they want to control everything. Let me get this real quick. Hold on. Let me see if this is probably the last part of this Candace Owens.
Yeah, arrest them. Arrest Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. Get them. I love it. And if you think it's going to stop with college campuses, you're out of your mind. So you better buck up and root for Harvard University in this fight.
So basically, the free speech thing is what Candace Owens is. It's funny. Okay, here's the Harvard thing she was talking about. So Owens, who's been one of Trump's most outspoken supporters for years, didn't hold back in the recent video her message. When it comes to freedom of speech, even elite universities like Harvard deserve public support if the alternative is federal suppression. And if Harvard's being attacked, it's really not even real, because Harvard is basically like the elite intellectual capital of the West. You know what I'm saying? Especially of America. Remy, are you there? Yeah, you back.
Yeah, yeah. My wife had called my phone and I tried to send her a text message, but somehow I went and got out. I'm here. I'm back.
Yeah, my bad. That was me. Actually, I was trying to remove Remy. It seems like he might be not on. So let me hold on. That's where it is. Okay. From the studio. Okay, so cool. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on, man. Let me see if I can find another. Man, there's so much stuff going on. It's not even funny. About to see if I can find another. In fact, let me try YouTube. I'm gonna put up this guy Neferkari. He's like a Haitian dude. He's like a Pan-Africanist though. But he got some good talking points. Because all this stuff that they're trying to do, the reason why they got all this rhetoric is because they want to dehumanize our people to set us up for the genocide.
Yep.
Charlie Kirk going around the whole country is to soften up the minds of all these people that are on the right, to say, since we have no way to fix black people, we have no way to fix Hispanic people, what is the solution? Because ultimately that's what it comes down to. See, if I was to meet up and talk to a guy like Charlie Kirk, if I was to be in the audience, I would just say, let's cut the bull. What is the solution to dealing with the black crime issue? Because I'm not going to let you say we need to fix the houses, because if you fix the houses, you need to fix the government, who's then breaking up homes. And if you're going to fix that, you guess what? Who that's going to affect? That's going to affect your people. So all those people, white people in Appalachia, in Kentucky, that are on welfare, because we can pull out the stats. Majority of people that are on welfare are white.
It's Edomites. Yep.
This is facts. So you need to apply the removal of welfare benefits to everybody. Don't make it just a black issue, apply to everybody. So if you remove all those welfare benefits to them, what do you think you can provide for millions of white people that are on welfare? What can you provide them, and how are you going to provide it? If he says you're going to industrialize and bring back jobs, then that means you need to pay livable wages. Because if you don't pay livable wages, the women are going to leave the men, and they're going to get back on welfare. And if they can't get back on welfare and they can't get livable wages, what do you think is going to happen with America? It's going to descend into chaos. See, Charlie Kirk is from an era where he grew up in the internet age. He's just getting talking points from people that he heard from, but he has no practical understanding of anything.
That's it, man. That's it. That was a young guy, man. When you sit and listen to him talk, you'll be like, some of this stuff he's saying, it really ain't really making no sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he a fast talker. He a hustler.
Yeah, God.
You know how you run across somebody out like in the streets, and they'll just come up to you, man, I need this, and they'll just start talking real fast, just trying to run game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what he remind me of.
You know what's crazy, y'all, is that whenever every time I saw him talk to a Jake, 95% of these Jakes, because see, I'm gonna be real. We've even talked about this before many times. Most Generation Z, I've seen a handful. There's a handful of people, Generation Z, that can crush the positions of a Charlie Kirk. But the majority of them can't, because they didn't grow up during our time, where we literally got the talking. We can literally crush a lot of the talking points because we understand the angle they're coming from. But you see a lot of Jake, they'll get up there, try and challenge Charlie Kirk on certain things, and Charlie Kirk would confound them because they don't know anything. They would come there, you'd be like, well, the reason why there's a 30-50% is because of the breaking up, because there's no fathers in the home. Well, why is there no fathers in the home? It's because your culture's bad. Don't you agree that your culture is not good? Well, our culture, what's wrong with our culture? Are you trying to say that women can't raise kids without a father? Now the black student that's challenging him, you're just admitting that you believe a child should be raised without a father. Mm-hmm. And then Charlie Kirk don't come with the statistics on the delinquency and the criminality of children raised by only single mothers. You lost.
Got him.
And I used to see them debates too. I'm like, damn, y'all, it's too easy. Charlie Kirk sitting back there laughing like, this is too easy. They always fall for the okie doke. Let me see if I can add this screen. Dang, where did it go? Okay, I'm sharing. That's what it is. I'm sharing the so I'm trying to share this screen. That's what it is. Okay. Y'all should be able to see this. But this is from a YouTube channel, Neferkari T. Dessalines. White crime and white culture exposed. White conservatives need to answer for this. So I'm gonna go ahead and play some of it.
Do you know that 1 in every 22 black men in America will commit murder in his lifetime?
Yeah, we back. We back. Now, today's video is going to be a follow-up video to the one I dropped yesterday entitled Black Crime 1350 Conservative Propaganda Debunked. Now, in that video, I was attacking a common talking point you hear from certain conservative commentators, right? The black community, black men are X amount of the population committing X amount of the crimes. And of course, in that video, we went deep into that topic, debunked that topic, deconstructed that topic. Check it out. Now, today's video is going to be a follow-up video to that one. It's still going to be talking about crime in America, but we're going to be focused on a different demographic. You know, we love talking about black men, and, you know, black men always get the spotlight. But today, I want to share some of that spotlight with some other demographics. You know, I don't want
that 29 and 77 was certain crimes that was being committed by so-called white males overwhelmingly compared to other groups. So that's what the video that he's talking about he did before, but we're going to add the pause for the sake of copyright, free. So I have to kind of stop it here and there, but we're going to go ahead and hear what he has to say concerning this. I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm just going to play the part where he has the where he talks about the statistics.
want to hog up all the airtime. You know, we love talking about black men all goddamn day. So I want to step off the stage and I want to allow some other demographics to get on center. So not wasting no time, let's get into it. Now, when you examine the data that's available, the first thing you'll realize is this. There's high male representation, right? Over 90% of those sentenced for child pornography offenses are men. So that's a shame. But when you go even deeper, right? Now, time out. Now, because I don't want to keep saying the word child pornography in my video, because it's even disgusting for me to say, I'm just going to say exploitation material, right? That's what I'm going to say instead of just repeating that over and over throughout the video. So I'm going to say exploitation material instead. So let's continue. Now, as you can see, over 90% are men. But when you go down even deeper to the demographics, it says white individuals are overrepresented in exploitation material cases. And statistics from the U.S. Sentencing Commission show that they make up the largest racial group of offenders. For example, a 2023 report on federal exploitation material cases indicated that 77.1% of the offenders were whites.
Wow.
So you hear that? And when you go back to it, when it says CSAM, it says white individuals are overrepresented in child sex and molestation cases. That's what it means, CSAM. Okay? 77%. And we know that 92 to 97% are males, right? So we can already assume that 90 to 99% of these offenders will be males as well. And we know that white males only represent 29% of the population. That's where this symbol that he created in his AI comes from. He got the man in the vehicle, man. What you got to say, Ak?
I tell you, that's some crazy stuff, man. That is crazy. That's wild, bro.
Man, yo, wait, hold on. Let me get this preset real quick, dude. Go ahead, keep talking while I try and get this preset.
That's ironic, though, man. You know, the way Esau, they love targeting black men specifically, but the white man, he commit way more crimes on a whole nother level than what black men do.
God,
you know, but yeah, murder wrong might be done by a black man. You know, not at a high rate, but you know, let's just say a black man commit murder, but you might have a white man go do some stuff and just destroy thousands of people's lives at one time.
Man, like that Las Vegas joint, bruh.
Yeah,
the Las Vegas one, people don't even talk about that no more. That was,
yeah,
bro. I
exactly.
remember when the news came out on that one. No one has ever seen anything like that Las Vegas shooting.
Yep.
That on a concert, that boy was at the top window, broke the window open on the strip, and was just
gunning them down.
Crazy.
Just imagine what Esau was doing, like back in Vietnam and them World War II and World War I, when they were running through these countries, man, just freely with all them weapons they had. And these people just running, you know, like especially in Vietnam, man, because you can see it in the movies. They show how they are just gunning them down from the helicopters for no reason.
I got this right here. This is that 2977. Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 16, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected, for he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. Just like freaking Charlie Kirk. He was rejected. See, it's the fact that Edomites are so tied to the Bible is actually prophetic, because deep down inside they're looking for repentance. That's why they hold on to the identity of being a Christian, which they had to pervert to even fit into it anyway. So Charlie Kirk, the man that says empathy is a made-up term and we shouldn't believe in empathy, that guy, the one that says that the Civil Rights Act was a mistake to give oppressed people equal rights to certain things within the society, he said that was a mistake. That same guy who calls himself a Christian, he is the fornicator, a profane person. He is, they are seeking for a place of repentance that really their forefather Esau threw away. And we know that they're not, we know who they are because look at the activity that they do. Just like the brother Neferkari Dessalines showed in the statistics, 77% of the those that are involved in the pedophilia are them.
Yep. The border of wickedness, man.
Yep.
They the border of wickedness, like the scriptures say.
I'll get that.
You can't, you can't trust this man with nothing. It's sad to say a lot of our people do.
Yeah,
just like a lot of them, it's so many of them, bro, like online, taking up, defending this guy that got assassinated.
Bro, that stuff is scary. That stuff would have never happened 30 years ago.
Yeah,
Jake would
crying,
not be on that
like
type of
bawling, crying, talking about we shouldn't be mocking him and all this. But like I was looking at one of the brother Tazariak from ISUPK. He was in like what you call that streaming platform, Clubhouse,
yeah.
And he was debating a bunch of, I don't even know if they was Christian. It was just a bunch of random Negroes in there, and a few of them defending the dude Charlie, and he breaking it down to him, man. Like, it's like, what is wrong with y'all? This dude didn't give a damn about y'all. And y'all up here defending him, crying, bawling. Some of them jokers was bawling, crying, man, when this stuff happened. He said whenever Trayvon Martin got shot, they was taking pictures with Skittles and Arizona tea. Like where y'all was then whenever they was doing that. Where Charlie Kirk was when they was doing that.
Man, they flip, Jake flipping the game on them though, man. They in the comments about Charlie Kirk died of a fentanyl overdose. Because after they're saying about George Floyd, they said he didn't die of the gunshot, he died of fentanyl. And them Edomites, all the comments pissed off. Like, are you serious, bro?
Yeah.
He said, yeah, he died of fentanyl.
You seen the one where Charlie Kirk was talking about how George Floyd, it was like they were reenacted, and the dude had his knee on his back. And he was just saying, like, does that hurt? Had the black guy on the floor. Does that hurt? And the black guy saying, no. Are you sure it don't hurt? But you got your knee on his back, bro. Yeah, and that's how he proved. Yeah, but that's how he proved that he died of a fentanyl. See, it doesn't hurt. You can't die from a knee on your back. Like, man, come on, man.
This man is Esau something else, bro. Like the way they lie is like, God dang, bro. Like, and then the thing about it is, y'all mad at listen, if Jake really want to make this Charlie Kirk, well, the amount of skits that Jake could do on this Charlie Kirk situation will have these Edomites embroiled.
Yep.
Because y'all think y'all can clown. Y'all think y'all was clowning when it came to the Trayvon Martin and the Arizona Ice and Skittles. Let Jake come through. Let Drewski come through with the white face on, like he's Charlie Kirk, sounding just like him, bro. And do a reenactment. That means Edomites will be sick. They would be sick, bro. It'd be so bad. We can crack all kind of jokes.
No
Just like they
Halloween
doing
coming
on
up.
Twitter. On Twitter, they destroying. There's a handful of Jakes just destroying them people.
Yeah, you can't compete with Jake when he gets to trolling. When he get in this troll mode, it's over with.
It's over with, bro. They gonna remind you every time.
He'll make you commit suicide.
That's all right. They getting hurt, man.
Yeah.
They using that fentanyl. They saying, man, he driving fentanyl, man. Hey, but wait. He said empathy. He said we ain't supposed to show him empathy.
Yeah.
We ain't supposed to show him empathy. Why you telling me to that I'm a bad person? He just said that empathy didn't matter. I got the sound bite. He said empathy is a made up word by the left. But you want me to empathize for a man? I'm doing what he said. I'm doing what he said. I'm supposed to say F him, no empathy, because that's what Charlie Kirk would want me to do. Charlie Kirk would want me to not show empathy. So now what they're trying to say is show empathy for us, but not for us, but not for you. That's what they're trying to say. They want Jake to fall on the sword for them. That's what a lot of these Christian Jakes is doing. What they want. That's crying for them. Because some of them are Christian. They're like, oh, he was a good Christian. He meant well. I'm like, what kind of Christian are you talking about?
Exactly.
Like, y'all through.
This is Psalms chapter 5 and verse 9. For there is no faithfulness in their mouth. Their inward part is very wickedness. Their throat is an open suckler. They flatter with their tongue. Like you just said, man, this man is full of lies, man. Esau is full of lies. Everything he does is based on lies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know where that comes from? It comes from that hatred, that, bigotry.
Yep.
Bigotry is what breeds lies, because when someone becomes a bigot has to build the image that they tear down of the people that they're bigoted against with lies. Because go ahead.
And you know where a lot of it, the lies stem from too?
What?
They own everything. They got all the money. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So they can say pretty much whatever they want to say to make it try to, persuade people their way.
Correct.
They can tell the biggest lie in the world, and people, it's obvious that it's a lie, but they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who gonna do me something? I got all the wealth. Who gonna say it? Who gonna fix it? Who gonna correct it? Like how Israel doing right now. Who gonna stop me?
Man, them boys is lying so much, it's ridiculous, bro. Every time that boy Benji Netanyahu get on, you be like, damn, this dude be lying.
Man,
God dang.
I tell you, boy.
Boy, I'm like, how do y'all freaking support this man? The people that's really a lot of them, you know what they be saying? If you go to the comments, they be like, if we're only fighting to get rid of Hamas. Once Hamas is all gone, it'll be over. Bruh, no, it's not, bro. Hamas can surrender right now, all of Hamas, and y'all gonna push everybody still up out of there.
They not gonna stop.
They're not gonna stop, bro. Y'all talking about y'all killing Hamas members. We seeing dead bodies of kids everywhere.
They gotta seize the opportunity while they got it right now. They gotta seize it.
Mm-hmm.
The whole plan, like you said, from years ago, that's been their objective, to get that piece of land.
Yeah.
And now they got one foot in it. They not finna stop.
Yeah, especially not with Netanyahu. He's one of the extreme among that political elite, that he would not stop because he don't care about the image. And you see what they're doing out. They so bold. They out there dropping. They hit Qatar. Qatar is a U.S. ally. They tried to assassinate the Hamas leadership that was in Qatar, and they missed them. But that was a strike against a U.S. ally. So now Qatar is like, wait, y'all want to do this? So Qatar getting up with the other Arab nation states is like, look, we might need to hold back our oil from these people. During this whole conflict in the last year, these small hats have struck Yemen, Qatar, Syria, Lebanon, and Iran.
And one of the smallest countries in the area, bro. But messing with everybody.
Man.
Everybody around them.
Because they want to draw the U.S. into war. They want to draw U.S. into war in that region because they can't take over those, they can't occupy those territories. In order for them to have a greater Israel, which stretches from the Euphrates to the Nile, they're going to need the U.S. to step in and help with the military occupation and also the military conquest of those regions. They don't have enough people. They don't have a big enough military to actually do it. They don't have that ability to even sustain it, to control all those areas. Because really it's about controlling those oil and gas fields, which that goes back to, I think I said it on the Judeo-Christian Empire. That goes back to Thomas Malthus, which I did a lesson on Thomas Malthus on I forgot what the name of it was, but I go into how the elites learn a strategy from Thomas Malthus, which talks about basically dominating the globe. You need three things. You need to dominate food supply, the money system, and energy. Once you own those three, you can control the whole world. So for them, they need to control those links of energy, oil, natural gas to the rest of the world by taking over these particular areas and politically destabilizing and creating either puppet governments or outright taking over these territories. And what so,
what you had said a while back, that's the snare that the Most High got him. That's the snare under his feet right there. That's how he gonna get him over there and gather them.
Yeah.
That goddamn oil and gas.
The oil and gas is a snare to them, bro. If that wasn't there, they would not be in that region. But as Esau's empire increased since 1492, and as they began to go into industrialization, modernization, it became a need to now control the energy supply.
With that like all that AI and all that type stuff, you need a lot of energy. It consumes a lot of energy. So they're gonna need that.
Under a technocracy, you need a lot of energy to store data. You need a lot of energy for you need a lot of energy to basically surveillance, because surveillance needs cameras. Those got to be 24/7. You need databases. That's 24/7. You need to have the ability to protect it with different aspects of infrastructure, both physically and software wise, the hardware and software security. You want to create a Judge Dredd world, or like a what's the movie? Like a Minority Report type world. You need a lot of energy, and you want to control it too, because this is how you punish other governments. Right. You punish other groups of people that may rebel. You control their food. Like in Africa, they're setting up Monsanto's farms. Basically, they're basically telling the governments, you can't use your regular seeds. You got to take these seeds, these Terminator seeds from Monsanto's. And you got certain countries, they're signing away the rights of the people to grow natural crops. Like they're forcing them to do that. You know? And you know what the scary thing about it is, when you look at oppression and bigotry, particularly oppression is a demonic force. See, when you go back into the Bible, there's never a time when we're commanded to, there's a difference between laying a burden upon a group of people to serve our people, and there's a difference between oppression. We're not actually allowed to oppress a group of people. There's nowhere in the law that allows us to oppress another group of people. So because oppression is a satanic energy.
Right.
There's a difference between oppression and ruling over a people. Having rule and hegemony over people is not the same as oppressing people.
Right.
And oppression comes from a place of, it's a satanic energy. That's why when you go through the Bible, everywhere you see what's talking about the oppressor, the man is likened unto Satan. It's like the girl that had the sickness. It says she was oppressed of the devil.
Right. Yep.
Okay, because the devil was oppressing her through putting that infliction upon her. So when you go through the book of Psalms, David is talking about the oppressor and what he does, how the oppressor seeks to afflict the poor and the needy.
And he said, when the righteous is in rule, the people rejoice.
And
when the wicked is in rule, the people mourn.
And see, the oppressor is in a position of power. A bigot doesn't have to be in power. A bigot supports oppression of a group of people that they're bigoted against. So they don't have to technically be in power. They can just support them
Yeah.
in what they're doing.
Right.
So when you go to different countries, and I studied this, every country you go to where there's a group of people that are unjustly oppressed, it's the same MO. They dehumanize them, they make up lies about them, and then the oppressor class has a group of people within that country that agrees with them and becomes bigoted against that group, even to their own detriment. So just like in America, right? The reason why we don't have universal health care is because of bigotry. A lot of this is the history. The reason why the America does not have universal health care like other in Western first world countries is because of bigotry. Now, peep this out. We know that the powers that be are oppressing Jake here in America. But think about it. If you're a poor Edomite, right? Why are you against universal health care?
For real.
So you're willing to hurt yourself to prevent another group of people that you're bigoted against from getting the benefit. Because bigots will defeat themselves, because a bigot is blind. He's like Clayton Bigsby.
Yep.
He doesn't know that he's harming himself.
Hey, you see that with the NFL with Shedeur Sanders with the bigotry. They'd rather destroy their own and lose their own football team, have a losing season, lose millions of dollars.
Yep.
Than to put that brother on the field and play for them.
Yep. Think about how cold that is. Cleveland Browns were willing to destroy their entire reputation and potential future with a generational quarterback talent. Yep. And the NFL, Roger Goodell, the front office, and the other owners colluded, man. One of the best quarterback talents in the last 5 years.
That goes back to with the wealth. I got all the money. What y'all gonna do?
Come on, bro.
Like, yeah, we did it on purpose. We colluded. We all got together and we said we gonna make this nigga go down to the fifth round draft pick.
Yep.
So what y'all gonna do? And then you got Esau agreeing right with it. I mean, what y'all expect? He's not that caliber of a quarterback. He's a 5th rounder.
Yep. No one dang well. No one dang well don't believe that. But no one they
blatantly did it though to put him in the 5th round.
Hey, but the bigotry is so high,
bro.
Hey, just like an Edomite that's a New Orleans Saints fan that knows that he should have at least went to New Orleans, right?
Yep.
He gonna stand on that business too.
Yep.
Well, he was a 5th round. It wasn't like he was really that good.
Draft night, I was sitting next to one at the thing. I was over there at the it's a new little golf thing like Top Golf they built out here called 504.
God.
And they had the draft party was over there. The Saints draft party was over there. They had NFL players in there, big old screen. And I'm sitting next to an Edomite. And that's when they picked that it was a tight end, I think they got for their 1st round pick, the Saints. And they had a chance to get Shedeur Sanders, but they didn't. And the Edomite was like, well, I think they did the right thing. He was, we need to build our team up first. I say, you build your team around a quarterback. I say, they ain't got no quarterback. They need a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And he knew that. He just sitting there just being a bigot. You know what I'm saying? Because of the Shedeur Sanders, man. He was going along with all the rhetoric. They didn't want to see that dude get in the NFL.
God, yeah, that's how cold it is. Oppressors and bigots are part of they're like foot soldiers for oppressors.
Yeah.
Right. So the oppressor is the person in power. Like what was it? I think it was Solomon. He says that in the book of Ecclesiastes about how those that were oppressed, how power was on the side of the oppressed, and it vexed him when he realized that the power was on the side of the oppressed. Well, bigots will support to their own detriment
Yep.
the oppressor, even against them, their own their own survival.
Yep.
So
Knowing it's
whatever
gonna
it is that will
affect them.
benefit them, they'd rather it not benefit them to continue on the bigotry
Yep.
and the oppression.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it, bro. Like Shador Sanders, to me, his floor from an NFL quarterback perspective, meaning the worst he could possibly be with the way his talent was, is Jalen
Yeah.
Hurts.
Yeah.
That means at
Yep.
worst, he's probably Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
And Jalen Hurts is a top 5 QB.
The most accurate quarterback ever. And
With no offensive line.
he can't even get a play in the NFL right now.
And he did that with no offensive line.
No offensive line. The most accurate quarterback ever.
In college football history.
Ain't that something?
I'm like, you people, man. That's how crazy oppression is. And you know the thing about it, like you were saying, when Tazarek was talking to them people and how they were supporting Charlie Kirk, and there's all them videos of all these Jakes crying over Charlie Kirk, right?
Yeah.
The reason why that's happening because one of the final stage of a group of people, there's something called political suicide. Political suicide is where where a group of people begin to act in an interest that doesn't suit them, which could lead to their doom as a people. So what's happening is our people have been oppressed for so long that now the next stage of Jake is political suicide.
Yep. That's it.
So that's why they're doing this, because because the thing about it is they begin to identify with the oppressor in such a way that it's fatalistic. It's called being a fatalist. It's almost being a sadist. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
A sadist is one who enjoys pain, I think, or inflicting pain on others, something like that. Let me look up the word sadistic. Sadistic is desiring pleasure from, listen to this, desiring pleasure from inflicting pain, suffering, or humiliation on others. But then there's also, I think, is it a masochist? Is that the other one?
That's what Esau is, what you just read.
Yeah, that's what Esau is. And in order for it to work, you have to have what's called a masochist, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look it up. Here it is. In general use, enjoying an activity that appears to be painful or tedious. Now, they sometimes use it in the sexual manner, deriving sexual gratification from one's own pain and humiliation, your own pain and humiliation. So a masochist is someone who enjoys receiving pain or humiliation. That's what it says here on very well. Let me go ahead and put it up real quick. Hold up. I'll put up
So
on the
these
screen.
Negroes enjoy that.
Yes, because in order for you to have someone who loves inflicting pain on others, they have to have a group of people that loves having pain inflicted upon themselves. Because just like the Bible says, the works of the Lord are 2 and 2. There's a balance to everything. There's light versus darkness, right? There's right versus left.
Yep.
There's up versus down, right? So you have to have the pain inflictor who loves the pain, and then you have to have those that love receiving pain, right? So the receiver and the giver of pain. And this is all spiritual. You get what I'm saying?
Yep, it is.
This is all spiritual. Let me put the screen up so I can show y'all the definition. Hold up. Right up on another window. So this is from verywellmind.com. And it says a masochistic person gains pleasure from experiencing various forms of pain. Okay. So that's where our people have gotten to. That's where you see people like, they'll say, oh, we need the National Guard. You ever seen them, Jakes? Man, they just send the National Guard to Chicago, man.
Yeah.
Man, they got to do something. They got to bring to Chicago. Yeah, because you want to, because really, even though they don't understand the end game, their mentality is naturally masochistic that desires to see the pain. Now, when it happens, they're going to cry about it, right? But their mindset already accepts that's what's to come. So that's where you see all these people like, Oh, he don't really mean that. Oh, Trump ain't really racist.
And then they'll show Trump or Charlie with a black person next to him like a pet. That's like one of the first signs that you're a racist. If you have to say that I have black friends, I'm not a racist. That's the first sign that you're a racist.
Come on. Watch this, Now this is from Real Reason USA lacks medical care for all. Now watch what this dude says.
Numbers on black people, and found that black people were dying, dropping like flies, more likely to be sick, more likely to die of pretty much everything, and concluded, which was the general consensus at the time among a lot of white people in the South, this is again in the 1890s, that black people were genetically inferior. And in 1896, he published a book called Race, Tendencies, and Traits of the American Negro, in which he lays out all the numbers, and then he concludes that if we simply avoided allowing black people to have any access to health care, that within 2 or 3 generations, the whole race would die out, and that would solve the race problem in America. Now, it sounds kind of crazy when I just lay it out like that right now, but this led to a whole bunch of things. And by the 1920s, this was referred to as scientific racism. He was testifying about it before Congress. So he ran the numbers on.
Hold on, now watch this.
Negro, in which he lays out all of the race people said no because black people will get it. When
watch this.
1912, any access to health care, that within 2 or 3 generations, the whole race would die out, and that would solve the race problem in America. When Teddy Roosevelt, 1912, proposed a national health care system, people said no because black people will get it. When Franklin Roosevelt proposed the national health care system, it was the same thing. We don't want black people to get it. When Truman tried it in 47, same thing. Don't want black people to get it. We have to figure out a way to keep black people from using Medicare. And the way that they came up with was to have a 20% hole, a gap in Medicare, so that you had to pay 20% of your doctor's bill and your hospital bill, and that would discourage poor black people from showing up at the hospitals. Nearly 100% of the reason why the United States is the only country in the world that doesn't define healthcare as a right is because of racism. He published a book called Race, Tendencies, and Traits of the American Negro.
So you see there?
Bro.
He broke it down. The reason why America does not have healthcare is because of racism, because of bigotry. So the people... white racists are willing to not have health care themselves just because they hate black people so much that they don't want to get it. So let's all not have it. What you got to say about that, Ott?
Out of his own mouth, man. Out of their own mouth. What the scripture say? That they gonna fall on their own tongue.
Yep.
You heard it from the horse's mouth.
And he had the different presidents that tried to bring it. And they was like, no, we don't want them to get it. We'd rather not have it so they don't get it.
Oh, my goodness, man.
This is who we're dealing with, Charlie Kirk and your supporters. This is who we're dealing with.
Yeah.
You're in the richest country that ever was created. No other country on earth had a global trade reach like the United States of America, which is also known as Babylon. This is the reason why Babylon the Great was known for having a lot of ships of goods coming in, and the kings of the earth waxed rich because of Babylon.
Yep.
That's how China became a powerhouse that it is now. They went from rice farmers riding on bikes in 40 years to being probably the most advanced technical society on earth right now, off of trade with Babylon. So these people were willing to throw away their own lives, the future of their future generations. And Trump just passed he passed that bill that took away a lot of federal rights. A lot of these rural hospitals, they're not going to get funding no more. God. So a lot of these white towns, rural towns where they were getting a lot of Medicare, a lot of Medicaid benefits, like their hospitals were subsidized by Medicaid. They're shutting down because
And
they're
now,
not going to get access no more. And
yeah,
remember, they didn't want to have the health care no more because they didn't want Jake to have access to it. So but Trump cut it out, and it's hurting poor whites. But remember, they supported Trump though, right?
yep. That's his backing. That the base. That's his base.
Mm-hmm.
West Virginia.
Yeah, the working class whites.
Mm-hmm.
So they're willing to sacrifice themselves and their children over their hatred for Jake. That's cold, bro.
It is.
You heard what that man said. That man broke it down.
He broke it down, and he reading it though, like like he's saying it like he just reading it, like somebody else wrote this, but he believing that wholeheartedly. You can see it the way he talking about it. He believe in that. Look at him.
Yeah, that's him, Tom Hartman.
Yeah.
The real reason we don't have single payer health care. And this is the video. This is the full video. So if you all want to watch the full video, this is a 16.5-minute interview that he had with David Pakman show about the reason why you don't have health care. And he tells you, he breaks down how racism is the reason why you don't got it.
And that's how all the Edomites believe. That's how they all believe. They all think the same way, man. It's like it would be like a wave when one of them believe that way. That's kind of got a little following or opinion with itself. That all of them gonna follow that same, gonna go with that wave.
God.
Just like I was saying, like the Shadur Sanders thing, like it was a wave. Like, dude, don't y'all see? It's obviously that this was calculated and planned and to go the way it went, and y'all gonna just believe like the dude ain't a good player. Y'all gonna run with it like he ain't a good player. I mean, why y'all keep on trying to put him up on the pedestal? He's not that good. I mean, he's fifth rounder. That's why he's not starting.
He's a fifth rounder. I'm like, are you serious, man? Like that shows you how powerful white supremacy is. White supremacy is so powerful that all the owners with the front office colluded together to say, don't draft this guy. And they only drafted him because the backlash day by day in the media was getting the tension was getting so high about why is he not getting picked up. And then it became they got to be colluding because some of the quarterbacks that started getting picked before him were terrible. We're not good quarterbacks in college.
Right.
Like that Dillon guy that got drafted before him in Cleveland. Or the one that was it New Orleans drafted somebody, right? A quarterback eventually.
I don't.
Or did
I think they did. I don't know. I can't remember. Yeah, I think they did get somebody, but I think they let him go. No, he's still there. He just ain't playing, I don't think. I think they did get a quarterback.
I'm about to look up their draft picks for 2025.
Start with an S, I think his last name. I can't recall it, but it started with an S.
Yeah, their pick selection. Golly, I hate this ad blockers. Yeah, they picked up Tyler Show in 40th pick.
Yeah,
from
Show.
Louisville.
Yeah.
So you're telling me in the second round pick they couldn't have got?
He about 27 years old and come out of college. That's what everybody was talking about. I think that's the one that was 27 or 25 years old.
Yeah, he about to be 26 in the next week.
Yeah.
But you know some of them quarterbacks, especially the ones that play college baseball, some of them they when they get back they be older. I forgot there was a guy he used to play for the Yankees, and then he went back to college and ended up becoming an NFL quarterback. He got in the league at like 28 or something like that.
Well, that's the thing these Edomites be doing too. Like especially in high school, they parents will hold them back a year so they can try to,
get that extra strength growth spurt.
Yeah, get that extra growth spurt in sports. If they play sports, they'll hold them back a year so they can try to excel that next year because they're gonna be with some lower class, people.
Yeah, that's a smart strategy. A lot of Jakes don't be doing that though.
Mm-hmm.
That's a smart strategy. Especially if they're playing football.
Right.
Because that extra year of being able to lift weights
They
and just
playing
grow probably a
and
little.
they pretty good at it too.
Yeah, and then they a little bit
Yeah.
stronger the next year than that senior year. Really,
Yeah.
that junior year they dominating because they damn near like got a whole year of like
Mm-hmm.
physical maturity on everybody. That's why BYU be having good football players. Like they're really not super talented, but they're grown men because they go on them
Yeah.
2-year Mormon missions.
Yep.
That's why back in the day, in the 80s, BYU used to be like top 10 in football. Back when Steve Young and them was there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, BYU right now is 3-0. They rank number 25 in the country. But if you look at that
Wow.
roster, most of them guys is like 25, 20, like 24, 25, 26. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me pull up this.
They probably all look like they about 40 years old or at 25, 26.
Mm-hmm. Hold up. Oh, dang, what's going on? Okay, I had accidentally clicked on the link. Hold up. Yeah, so you heard what that man said. Let me actually pull this out. Let me pull out what you were saying in Psalm 64. Stop screen. Go ahead and add. Share screen.
Yeah, man, we blowing the horn in Babylon, man.
Warning the people what's to come. They don't fall
That's
for
right.
the dehumanization, man. Don't
Yeah.
commit salvational suicide, really, because political suicide is just you being maintained within the entity of Babylon. You're
And these
throwing away
Jakes,
your salvation, really.
and these Jakes that's following, but that was, defending that guy. What's his name? Charlie.
Charlie
They think
Kirk.
they woke. Yeah, they think they woke.
Yeah.
They
just
really
think they're
think
just
they
going up
woke.
against the left. We're just trying to not
Yeah.
turn
Yeah.
into the radical left. We want families together. We're conservative. We want families to come back. We want men to be the head of families. That's how they're talking.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's deeper than that, bro.
Yep.
You shouldn't even be on any side. See, that's the problem. Whenever you choose a political side, you're going to harm yourself if you are our people. There's no way you can win because you go left, they want you to turn into the opposite sex. If you go right, they want you to be self-deprecating and basically basically lend yourself up for a sacrifice to the Ku Klux Klan.
Yep, that's right.
You're gonna be that guy they're gonna lynch at the end of the picnic after you done served them plates of food.
Be like this movie I watched, man. It's an old movie. It's called what is the name of that movie?
You saw
I
the
think it's
Ice-T
called
movie?
No, it's
The
called
Ice-T?
White Boy. I think it's
Okay,
called
I know
White
it's about-
Boy.
I know you're talking about, yeah.
They were like a rural highway and it was a wigger. He want to be a rapper, but he thought he was hardcore. He had started hustling, selling dope. He had one little black friend, and the black dude was square. He didn't do none of that, but he just hung out with these little wild little white boys, Edomites, and a couple of girls. And then they gonna go up to the little black dude, ask him. The black dude was telling me he had a cousin in Chicago, and so he wanted to tell him. He asking him, "Can you get in touch with your cousin? And we go score some dope." And the black dude kept like, "Nah, man, my people ain't like that." His cousin was a real gangster in Chicago, and so he eventually talked him into it. He brought him out there, get out there, and he asked him to do what he want to buy. The black dude didn't know nothing about it, so he thinking the white dude had some money, like wanted to get something. And so he get up in there, the white dude like, "Yeah, man, I'm just looking, seeing if you can front me something." Like he had no money, he wanted to do like what? So it kind of spiraled out of control. Then one of the Edomites wind up getting killed, and I think the other one got shot at. But when they all got out of that place and escaped, they blamed the little black dude and shot him. The Edomites, they blamed him like it was all his fault that everything spiraled out of control, and so they wind up shooting him. Like it's a crazy movie, man.
Damn.
It was a crazy. It's an older movie.
Yeah.
And I think it's called White Boy, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because they have a movie called White Boy Rick, which is a true story about the
yeah,
Detroit.
yeah. But this one was called something else. He wasn't the dude was just a lame. They was all lame. They used to just
Oh, I know what you're talking
sit
about.
around smoking weed and just
Did
be,
that come out like in the 90s? Because they went to Chicago,
yeah,
they went to
yeah,
Robert Tate, they went to the projects.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
watched that. That came out like in the
yeah,
90s. I know what you're talking
yeah.
about. Because he
That's
was like
it.
from Nebraska or something like that.
That's where they were from, like Iowa,
Yeah,
I think,
Iowa, Nebraska. I
because
remember
Iowa
that.
like close to Chicago or something like. So that's
Yeah,
where
because they go to Robert Taylor Homes or Cabrini Greens or something.
yeah, yeah, to the little black guy, his cousin.
His cousin. Yeah.
They get up in the projects, and he started talking like, yeah, man, yeah, and the dude like, man, what you want? Yeah, man, I was just hoping, man, you could just front me something. And the dude looked at him like, what?
Yeah. There's a movie. Hold on, let me show you this one. This is what a lot of you Negroes is on. Hold on, I'm gonna show you.
Yeah.
Show who you.
And that's just how it happened to them Jakes. That's on the right wing side. That's what happened to them. They're gonna eventually turn on you.
Yep.
They're gonna blame you for everything.
Yep.
See, if we wouldn't have had you around us, you're gonna be the fall guy.
Yep. You're gonna be the what's that called, a political scapegoat. As actually, when you look at political science, like I said, look up things like political scapegoat, political suicide. They go hand in hand. They can go hand in hand, because if you already know your people are the political scapegoat, then you can make yourself a willing sacrifice by committing what's called political suicide.
Yep.
Meaning you're going to agree with your oppressor, and by agreement with him, you're saying to him that he should get rid of you, because that's what he ultimately wants to do. So when you're in agreement with him, like Anton Daniels, Hodge twins, all these people that are talking, Officer Tatum, bro, there's a bunch of them. All these people that have been in agreement. At least Candace Owen is kind of pushing back at times. She even talked to Nick Fuentes and kind of came back at Nick Fuentes, because Nick Fuentes tried to say Black people weren't as advanced as white people. And she's like, nah, they actually done some research and history, and what you're saying doesn't line up. It ain't lined up. Like, you'll say Black people didn't have access to the wheel. We could even read. You can look up ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs going back 5,000 years with them in chariots with wheels on them. What are you talking about?
Yep.
Like, dude, like, what are you talking about? You can literally go to the freaking Paris. That's how evil these Edomites are. You lie so much that you can literally pull up a picture of Nefertiti, a Black woman with braids, and be like, oh, they're not Black.
Yeah. I mean, you just can't look at that and say they're Black.
They're North African, but they're not Black. Meanwhile, when you read like actual what Esau was saying, I'm gonna actually do like a series where I'm gonna go into like these older writings. A lot of old writings. There's a guy that I follow on Twitter. He got like all the old like 18 stuff that was written in the 1800s, where they're literally admitting that Black people that came to West Africa in general came from North Africa or the Levant. This is what they were writing. And you know how they knew this? Because they read the Arabic scripts of the history of the people of West Africa, and it coincided with the migration patterns of them of all these different groups coming down the Nile and then getting on the Sahel, which is like the end of the where the Nile River ends down in Sudan, and then you go west towards Lake Chad. And those were ancient trade routes, and that's how a lot of the settlements came about throughout the rest of Africa. And this only happened recently, you know what I'm saying? But Esau want to make you believe everybody was there the whole time. No, all the people that you see in West and Central Africa came from North Africa and West Asia. You know what I'm saying? And Esau knows this. He was writing it. He has all the, I'm going to bring it out, but he has all these writings from the 1800s where he admitted that the people that are in West Africa, Central Africa, and Southern Africa all migrated from North Africa or the West Asia, which is basically the Levant.
They all migrated from somewhere.
Yeah, and that's more recent. It wasn't like in the last this happened over the last like basically 15 to 2,000 years. It's like more recent, and most of the migration happened that occurred West Africa occurred in the Middle Ages. And they know this based off of the trade that was going on, the trade networks, and some of the similar cultural values and the spread of Islam. The spread of Islam and how it's, But you know, Esau is such a liar. He got museums. He got sculptures of black. You go to Europe, and you can see the pictures. And you can see the pictures of all the black nobility, all the former middle age kings. They got certain buildings where they still got the old kings, black kings with crowns on them. Like in Germany, all throughout Europe. So it's not even something that people made up on an AI or something like that, like AI art. No, you can literally go to certain buildings and you can see the crown, the person who was like a king back in 1300, and it's a dark-skinned black man with woolly hair.
Boy, I tell you,
I'm like, you people are liars, 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 bro. Just straight liars. That's why Putin don't like these people, bro. Putin was exposing them on that. Remember when Putin came out? He brought that whole press conference to show all them black Jews.
Yeah. What's Tahar say? He a Jake.
Yeah, he might be a Jake. Well, Putin, he's a Jake. He's a Jake. This is Psalm chapter 64 and verse 8. So shall they make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Yeah, they letting you know what their plan is. That's why a lot of times you just gotta bait them, man. If I was talking to Charlie Kirk, I would just be like, listen, what's your solution? How do you okay, 72% of black people have children, 72% of black kids are born out of wedlock. 13% of black people are committing 50% of the murders. What is the solution, Charlie? That's what I would say to, oh, bro, he would be stumped. He would be like, oh, snap. Because he knows what the solution is. The solution is the final solution. That's what you want. You want us to be rounded up in concentration camps, Charlie. Just say it. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. I said, just say it, Charlie. Charlie, just say you want us to be rounded up in concentration camps, bro.
That's the part he's saying in his circles. That's what they saying in their circles. He's not saying that when he's giving them public speeches.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He's not saying that part.
Yep. I got something right here. You probably remember this one. Hold up. Watch this. This is the movie I was talking about with Ice-T. Surviving the Game.
Oh yeah.
94.
He was being hunted.
Yeah, because he was a homeless man. They had he got hired to be a tour guide, and then in the midst of that, they set him up to be hunted.
Yep.
That's it. So what he thought was a good gesture of him being homeless and him getting a job as a hunting guide turned into him becoming a target. And that's what you people are doing. A lot of you Jakes, y'all are, because like I said, y'all doing what's called political suicide. In fact, let's look at this. Let's look up political suicide. There's got to be something in here. If not, I might have to find okay, I might have to go to a different place. Hold on for one moment, because I know political suicide is definitely a term. So let's go ahead and let's look at AI. AI gonna give us a breakdown. Okay, hold up. So watch this. So let's see what Google. So right here it says political suicide is a metaphor used to describe a decision or action by a politician that is so unpopular or damaging it effectively ends their career. Now, a group can engage in this as well.
So can.
Because a lot of times poli just means people. That's all it means. It's just a Latin word for people, a representative of the people, right? A political representative is a politician that goes on behalf of the rest of the people. So if you have certain people if you have certain leadership among your own people, you know who is an example of that? Martin Luther King.
Yep.
He admitted that the behavior that he was doing as representing black people was basically self-destructive for himself and for his people. So he effectively, what Martin Luther King did by siding with the left is he effectively ends his own career, thereby ending the people he represents as well.
Yep.
Political. So it says here, it says the term can refer to a single act or pattern of self-destructive behavior.
And they had to do what they did to him when they got done with him.
Out of there.
Assassinated. Yep.
Out of there. He already was useful for what they needed to do. They wanted to bring in certain. They wanted to break down the racial barrier for the sake of confusing our people even further. Because the more we were separated as a people, the more that we knew who our enemy was, the more we were figuring out ways to survive and thrive in the midst of that. And eventually we will become more militant. And if we become more militant, then we can be co-opted by foreign powers, right? Because now all it takes for them is to train and arm a handful of black people, and they can basically destabilize the whole country. Because, and this happens in anywhere where a group of people are oppressed, they eventually become more militant.
Right.
So the only way you can make us less militant is by basically trying to make us appease us through acceptable
seem like we're part of society. Yeah.
Correct. Because if you go to like Turkey, right, which I was in Turkey, 20% of Turkey's population is Kurdish. The Kurdish people are oppressed by the Ottoman Turks. So because of the oppression that they've been receiving, it made them more militant. So they created a military wing. They created a political and military wing called the KPP, where they train and arm themselves and they commit acts of terrorism against the Turkish people, the Turkish government, and all throughout Turkey.
Wow.
That's what would have happened with black people. You know what I'm saying? Because after a while, if you keep mistreating our people and we become more militant, eventually we're going to become a people that we're going to start being more military aggressive. You know what I'm saying? We're going to take a military stance because that's what all oppressed people do. All oppressed people, the men among their people, are eventually going to be like, y'all killing us anyway. We might as well die killing you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a logical conclusion. If you're killing us anyway and you're not giving us rights, you're disenfranchising us, why am I going to die on my knees when I can fight and die like a man?
Yep.
It don't make, you know what I'm saying? It don't make no sense.
Eventually it's gonna happen when Yahweh Shah come.
Yep.
When Yahweh Shah return.
Yep.
That's basically what's gonna go down. The oppressed finna rise up, take the kingdom. Like the scriptures say, the saints shall take the kingdom.
Yep. No longer shall he stay upon him that smote him. In fact, let me get that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, it's the Daniel chapter 7, I think. 7 and 18. I don't even know if this is even it. I'm trying to. Yeah, we were trying to warn the people, man. Don't fall into this okie doke, man. That's why really, if you got to be.
That's right.
You really, if you identify with Babylon, it's going to be to your detriment, because the only way you can identify with Babylon is if you're basically if you're aspiring to your own end. Because if you and a lot of these people, they don't see it. These people like Brandon Tate, all these like right-wing black conservatives, they can't see the end game. That's what it is. They can't. There's no way they see it.
No, they can't.
Because if they could see the end game, they would be like, dang, what am I doing?
They still think they doing something like as far as, coming from a different angle, as far as something like, like Martin Luther King. They fighting for rights. They thinking they gonna get they gonna see the days when they're gonna be equal.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they seeking.
God. This is Daniel chapter 7 and verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Yes, you're going to take it. It's not going to be begged for. You're not going to beg for rights. There's no reason to vote. There's no reason to beg. You should be trying to find a way to connect back with the Heavenly Father. But see, a lot of our people still don't know who they are. And even some of those that do know, they don't know the way towards the salvation path. You know, so that's why we have to kind of let you know exactly what it is, because, you know, the time is coming up. And the thing about it is, when we say the time is coming up, it could be 5 years. That's still close.
Yeah.
Look how fast the past 5 years went. That's still close.
That's right, man.
You see the cost of living going up. On my Spiritual Art of War page, I talk about, you know, a lot of different things. And you know, a lot of, you know, when you get like Dr. Umar and like D.L. Hughley and all these like social media types, they go up against certain things on the right, but they never talk about like how bad our situation is here as a people collectively. That's why Kevin Samuels exposed a lot of the dynamics. He said the biggest problem in America is the relationship between the man and the woman.
Yep, that's right.
And the thing is getting worse. The thing is getting worse. And these women, they're you know, they had a stat. You know, Houston is the city with the highest poverty rate in the country. Let me pull that up real quick. Hold up. All these Jakes moving to Houston.
Coming to party.
But broke.
Yep.
But broke.
They coming for the party. The nightlife.
Yeah, I got an episode of my Spiritual Art of War page called Broke Houston Baddies. It's called Broke Houston Baddies.
This is messed up out there, man. The mindsets is messed up.
God. Hold on, let me pull up this. Dang, where's it at? Okay. I got to get a dual screen. I can really just use my other laptop from my other screen. It'll make it easier for me to just pop stuff over. I don't know why it does that. Here it is right here. So it says here, KHOU 11, Houston has the highest rate of poverty among large cities in the U.S. according to the United States, to the census data.
New this morning, we are getting a closer look at Houston's poverty numbers. According to new data from the U.S. Census Bureau, more than 1 in 5 Houstonians live below the federal poverty line. That's the highest rate among the nation's largest cities. Kids are hit hardest, with nearly 1 in 3 under the age of 18 living in poverty. Economists point to low wages and limited job opportunities as key factors. And while the rate hasn't spiked in recent years, it hasn't improved a whole lot either. Houston's poverty rate of 21.2% puts it just ahead of Philadelphia at 19.7% and New York City, which sits at 18%.
Wow.
You know who it is, man. Mainly the Southern Kingdom. Houston and Philadelphia is top 2. It said 1 out of 3 kids in Houston is under the poverty line. That's why I talked about on my Spiritual Art of War page about how women are going to be abandoning their kids at a high rate. A lot of these single mothers who never got remarried, they're just going to abandon their kids, bro. I talked about a story about how I met this one chick. She had 4 daughters. Her and her husband got divorced, but their situation was crazy because her husband was like what basically pimped her. Like that's how he got with her, because he was already pimping. So what happened is she already had the first daughter. She's from the Midwest. Her parents were divorced. When she graduated high school in the Midwest, she moved down to Houston to live with her dad, right? Out in off of South Acres, like Sunnyside, pretty much, like one of the worst neighborhoods in Houston. Her aunt, basically her dad's sister, had a friend, and they started talking. That's how she had the first baby. Then after that, she met the guy that became her husband, who also was her pimp. So she danced and she, escorted around the country, like going to all the big events, big cities. She's fine. She's super fine. I'm talking about like Lisa Ray level fine. Like for real. Like you could put her in. She diamond. Put it like this. She diamond from Players Club. Not lying. She that fine, bro.
Man.
Now, mind you, when I met her, she was probably like 36, 37, and she looked like she was like 28, and she already had 4 kids. So, wow. She told me that she needed to look for a job because she became homeless. She was living in a car with her kids, living in hotels. So I told her about a work from home opportunities that I knew about that she can go to, she can get in. Or I told her about she can do virtual office assistants too, where she can work from home because they have that too. So she actually ended up doing that. But like, this woman was so downtrodden in her situation because her last kid had a developmental disability, the last daughter.
Oh, dang.
The oldest daughter, she has 4 daughters, 3 with her husband, 1 with the guy that she met from her aunt when she first moved down to Houston. The oldest daughter, it was so bad, the oldest daughter left her and started living with the boyfriend's people while she was in high school. So when she was like 16, she left her mom to go live with her boyfriend and her boyfriend's people to finish up high school. So the other 3 daughters, the last one had developmental disabilities, very bad. The other 2, she ended up giving one over to be taken care of by her dad. So her dad took the one that was like 11 or something like that. So she's raising the last 2 kids, the last I heard from her. Because I was trying to give her, I was talking to her about the gospel and stuff, but it never transpired because I was doing Lyft, I think. This is like 2017 or so, 2018. So I picked her up in the Lyft, like literally in my neighborhood. It was like my last ride for it was like a Sunday night. It was like right around like 8:30. I picked her up from the gas station in the same neighborhood as my parents. So So when I picked her up from the gas station, I was dropping her off within the neighborhood. She just so happened to live in the same neighborhood. So I was like, "Oh, Sab, you live here?" She told me that what happened was her ex-husband is engaged, and because she was homeless, and he, because of his kids, her ex-husband and his fiance allowed her to move back in with the kids until she get back on her feet. So that's how down bad she was, that she had to come back with the kids to live in the home, to stay in the home with the ex-husband and the new fiance. And this is 2018. It's way worse now. She thought about giving up her kids for adoption, all kind of stuff. It was that bad.
Wow.
So that's the poverty. The 1/3 of the children in Houston are in poverty. That's an example. And see, these women are being lied to by Shira 7, who's a self-proclaimed witch, by the way. The one that sprinkle lady. You know what I'm talking about?
What's her name?
Sprinkle. You know the lady be sprinkle.
I think I've seen her.
Shira 7. She's from Houston. Let me go ahead and pull her up real quick.
So she a witch.
Yeah, she a whole witch.
Sprinkling that 7 dust up on you.
She a witch. No, when I'm saying she's a witch, she actually has a separate channel where she goes into witchcraft. This is her.
You see her shirt she got on right there.
This is hers. She basically tells women how to marry rich, how to marry a man that's going to take care of you. So she married some old Jake who don't know what the hell's going on, but she just living off of his money. Then she started a channel. She got 813,000 subscribers. So she shows women how to swindle men and live off of men, how to use men. Let me see if we can watch this. Let me. This is one of her shorts from 2 years ago.
I'm going to be reading a quote from my book, I Bring Nothing to the Table. Question.
Her book is called I Bring Nothing to the Table.
Nothing to the table. Oh, man.
Yo, crazy. Hold on. Let's go ahead and listen.
Why do men make me feel inadequate and incompetent when I don't have a job? And what can I say to them? Well, here's my answer. Tell them you don't need a job. You need a man that makes enough money for the both of you. How about that? Then they feel incompetent and inadequate all of a sudden.
Sound like an elementary book.
Yep.
Something you read in elementary.
Yep. Now watch this. Hold on, Ak.
How far can Tom throw the ball?
Watch this, Ak. Let me do this real quick. Hold on, Ak. You're gonna watch this. So a man paying. So she's saying to make these women, I bring nothing to the table is the name of her book, right? And she's giving strategies for women to make men pay everything, right? To contribute nothing to the household. Now, hold on. Let me see if I can find this. Now, there was a dude, he was interviewed by, do you know the guy, The Desirable Truth? He be doing them street interviews. He's dark-skinned.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Watch this. Hold on. Watch this, Doc. So this conversation is a before and after conversation. Watch this. Let me stop sharing this one. Let's go ahead and hold on, man. Instagram. So listen to what she just said and look at this. So here it is. A man revealed that after 8 years of marriage, during which he covered every bill and expense, he still ended up divorced. Now on the left, now this guy's like a businessman. He's one of these influencers that got rich. You know, some of these guys we got to look and see a JT the pocket watch and know about this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but this guy became rich, allegedly. You know, a lot of these guys be scamming. Yeah. So look at this. No reward for simping. Now, this is him on the left a couple of years ago when this guy originally interviewed him, and then he interviewed him again in the future. So watch this. Listen to this, Akim.
Your age? 33. And are you single? Nah, married. How long have you been married? Since 2017. So being married 8 years, how do you keep a relationship together that long? Pay 100% of everything. So it's a man's job to be a provider. 100%. You ain't a man if you're not a provider. What gave you that mentality? Man, I've been had it since I was young. I mean, shoot, if you look at the granddaddies and everything, they was taking care of the bills. And guess what? They was with grandma for the longest. These dudes be in relationships in and out because they not paying 100% of everything. That's the reason why they in washing machine ass relationships.
2 hours later.
Have you ever proposed to a woman before?
Yes, I did.
And how did that turn out for you?
Newly divorced.
But how long was your marriage?
8 years.
What do you think caused your 8-year marriage to deteriorate?
You know, it's one of those crazy things, man. People can wake up and say, I don't want to do this. No matter what's built, no matter what legacies are in place, you know, it's one of those situations where you can't control people, right? I can't control you. I can't make you do something you don't want to do. So, you know what I mean?
But did you provide in your relationship?
First month, quit your job. I'm here, I'm taking care of this. So I ain't had to see a bill in 8 years, you know?
So even though you provided 100%, right, the marriage still failed.
Yeah, man. Married people want to be single. Single people want to be married. Rich people want to be poor. Poor people want to be, you know, rich. Rappers want to be athletes. Athletes want to be rap. You know, it's the other side look appealing. You know what I'm saying? And to people who married for a long time, you start hanging out with your single friends, you might miss that lifestyle. A lot of women don't want to be kept put up for real.
So was it you or your wife that filed for divorce?
On her side.
What's your...
You see that?
So hold on. That's the same dude.
Same dude. This is from a year. The interview on the left was like from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Because the guy, Desirable Truth, he interviews all over the country, but he mainly be in Miami, Austin, Charlotte, I think. Because when
And
you
the
look at his
same
videos,
dude came up again.
Yes. So he interviewed the guy again a year or so later, and his wife left him. Mind you, the first one, he like, you gotta pay all the bills. You gotta pay all the bills, man.
Doing good.
It's over with, man. It's over. This is Babylon, bro. Like,
yeah, man. That's it. That's part of blowing the trumpet too, man.
Yeah.
You gotta beware, because they out there.
Yep.
They out there just like that too.
Yep. Yeah, that's why one of the prophecies of the end times is the bad woman. It tells you that in Lamentations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Lamentations, that's an end time. That's a Jeremiah lamenting over the fall and the lowest state of our people.
Well, yeah, and they're gonna be, and you know, people gonna be lovers of themselves, man.
Yeah.
You know, the love for one another gonna wax cold. And that ain't just talking about friends on friends. That's talking about the husbands on wives, wives on husbands.
Mm-hmm.
The love gonna wax cold.
Okay, I found a way to kind of jump in and out. Okay, I'm liking this. I found a new way to jump in and out of the different tabs. This is Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 2. The precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold, how are they esteemed as earthen pitchers, the work of the hands of the potter? Even the sea monster draw out the breasts, they give suck to their young ones. The daughter of my people is become cruel, like the ostriches in the wilderness.
Like the ostrich in Job. Say she'll leave her young in the earth to be trampled by other animals. She'll leave her eggs in, you know, just laying out in the dirt and gonna get trampled by wild animals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Babylon.
Let's see about this. Now watch this. Hold on. We're gonna get something real quick for y'all brothers out there. Don't let a woman ruin your salvation, because in these last days, man, that's the number one weapon that Satan gonna try and use against you, is try and get you that rebellious Eve to make you bite from that forbidden fruit.
Yep.
Now let me get this real quick. Watch this. You're gonna like this one.
A woman by a man's side shapes how society sees him. Why? There's a reason why Will Smith is not viewed and treated as we view and treat Denzel Washington. And it's not because of their acting careers or their accolades or how many blockbusters they sold. It's because of the woman next to him. Steph Curry is way above in leagues the woman he's with. Way above. Aisha Curry. She clearly isn't aware of where she is in the pecking order of, you're an average looking woman with a mega superstar, one of the most famous people in the planet. So and the way in which you conduct yourself and talk about this man and throw him under the bus repeatedly to try to make him look bad. Will Smith is a multimillionaire, and there's men that's like me that will never trade places with him because of the woman he's with.
Yeah, fantastic point.
All the money that he has,
I don't think anybody would want to.
but that's the point. It's because of the woman he's with. His image matters.
And I want to add to that real quick. This is how important that is, right? Because you asked that good question. I really want to hammer this home for women. Kobe Bryant cheated on his wife. She didn't lose any credibility. Vanessa Bryant to this day is still revered as like, she stuck by him when he had that whole scandal and he had sex with that girl like 20 years ago now at this point. Yep. R.I.P. to Kobe Bryant, right? Didn't lose any credibility. However, I love that you brought the Will Smith thing up. Will Smith's credibility is tarnished because of his stupid ass wife. No one remembers Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. No one remembers, the rap music. No one remembers any of that shit. Because you can make the argument, and I'm glad that you brought up Denzel. You can make the argument that Will Smith has actually had better movies than Denzel Washington. He's had more hits. Bigger blockbusters. You can make that argument, but no one thinks of it that way because of Jada and the Red Table. In other words, a woman can destroy your fucking legacy.
You can build it up or you can tear it down. But those are the only two options when it comes to that man. So the way you dress, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself, and what you display on social media is a reflection of his image.
Yeah.
So factor that in when you think, oh, I'm going to do what I want, wear what I want, act how I want. You should act that way when you're single. When you decide.
Yep. Probably pause it there. Yeah. So what'd you think?
Oh yeah, like he say, you can act that way when you're single, but when you're married, man, you got to carry yourself in a different way.
Yeah, it's a whole different ball game for.
Right.
Man, I mean, the fact that a guy like Will Smith can just be looked a certain way is like, man,
I'm telling you, man, Will Smith is the man in Hollywood, man.
Yeah, he was that dude, man. He could have probably ran for president for real.
Yep.
Back back when Obama ran for president, that could have been Will Smith.
Governor of California, easy.
Definitely governor, easy. Yeah, he easily could have been, because if Arnold could be governor, and no way Will Smith couldn't be. They easily been governor, but his legacy destroyed, man, over this witch. Remember, Jada Pinkett is also a witch too.
Mm-hmm.
She had the Wicked Wisdom, I think that was the name of her band or something like that.
Yeah.
Got the kids all jacked up. Jaden and Willow looking crazy.
Well, rebellion is what they say. Rebellion is the same as witchcraft.
Mm-hmm. And look what else is going on. I got some more stuff. We got a woman here.
Got a what you say?
We got this one right here. She's kind of big on YouTube too. Women need to be controlled by men. Uh-oh.
She started something.
Bitterness against women. I can hear it now.
I bet you they probably already got a petition.
Let's hear what she got to say.
You don't have a man to control shit. Women need to be controlled. Oh shit. Oh shit. Whoopsie. Oh my God. This pick-me, pandering, male identified bitch is trying to set us back centuries. Do you know that women need to be fucking controlled? See, this couldn't be me. Women, we need to be controlled. And they asked me.
And mind you, she married. She's been married for years.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I done seen his show at the bottom sometimes. He be trying to do it like Kevin Samuels.
He do.
Yeah.
He got some good stuff though. Him and another dude. Hold on, let me see if I can find the other dude. He got some fire.
Who you're talking about. I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah.
Man, that boy cold. Yeah, they like the four horsemen. Him. It's like if it's Kevin Samuels, Stacey Prince, Ali.
Prince, that's the one I would. Yeah.
Yeah, Stacey Prince, this is him, because he be dropping bombs. Yeah, he gonna keep improving. Another one is Medium Man. He's good too. He come up with statistics. He live here in Houston. Yeah, Medium Man is another one. In fact, hold on. Let me see if I can find. Hold on. There's actually more. And this is how y'all need to be. I'm gonna look at this woman. I saw this one. A lot of you sisters that don't want to be don't understand the power of modest apparel. We understand we're in Babylon. It's hard to kind of get that Babylonians off of you, but start little, right? I'm telling you, I've seen so many women that are on social media that are viewed differently because they dress modestly. Mm-hmm. This could save your life, because if you're a young woman and you're not around your father, you're not around your brother, your wife, your woman who's married, you're not around your son who's grown, you're not around your husband, you can put yourself in a position where you can be respected, and you could be people will treat you differently because of how you present yourself.
Right.
You don't see Arabic women being harassed and mistreated by men in America, by random strangers. They just don't, because they be dressed conservative, they be in head wraps and all that. Now this woman, let me go ahead and put this up. Look what she said. She put this. Listen to what she said about what she did when she started putting on her head wrap.
Didn't know men are obsessed with girls and head wraps because, like, I got stopped so many times. This is way more than usual. Talking about, I want to get to know you. You look so beautiful. Say, yo, so what's up? I'm just like, bro, and I thought I was on some bummy shit. I cannot make nah. Bro, that's how true it is.
So you see, now they're coming respectfully though.
Right,
You know what I mean,
right.
It's not for you to attract men, but men have a certain level of respect. And if she says no, I'm married, they can look if she says she's taken, she has a man, they're gonna understand why she has a man just based off her presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, mind you, this woman did this not knowing that she was going to be treated like this until she did it. She only put on a head wrap because she hadn't taken care of her hair. So she thought she was coming outside looking bummy when she put the head wrap on. But it made her look more presentable, more womanly, more respected. She carried herself with a little bit of honor. Now, this guy, what's his name? Haka from Sakari, they were like, women don't need to dress in modest apparel. But this is the reason why, because the treatment is different. This is 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 9. In like manner, also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broidered hair or gold or pearls or costly array, but which becometh woman professing godliness with good works. The reason why it's important for sisters to start kind of going into this mode is because it's going to shield you from a lot of the bad energy that's out here.
Right.
Because right now in America, we're in a apocalypse. So if you're presenting, so what's happening is the assumption already is that most women outside are somehow, some way hoes. You got to combat that energy because that is what is being presented.
And it is what it is, man, because that's, you know, they can say I ain't a hoe, but it is what it is. That's the image that's being portrayed out there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about the way they dress it.
Yep.
You know, like they'll say, so you saying because the way I'm dressed, I'm gonna get raped. I can get raped.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't because the way I dress. It's the person that's gonna rape me because he just sick in his head.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes down to it, if it's a woman that's dressed modest and another woman that's dressed, you know, in skimpy clothing, which one you think that man gonna go and rape?
Come on.
That got it on his mind.
Yep. Yeah, they approach these women differently, man. It's just like at these spring break, Kappa Beach party, the bike week in Florida, or back in the day when they had Freaknik in Atlanta. Them girls will come through wearing the Daisy Dukes, wearing the revealing clothing. They're gonna get treated as such. Now this is her.
I done seen it. At Freaknik,
Mm-hmm.
the girls go in. They'll just have on just bikinis.
Mm-hmm.
Or just a bikini top with some Daisy Duke shorts.
Yep.
That was the main outfits they wore. And guys are just a group of guys that come around. One might have a camcorder, and it's about 5, 6 of them. They're gonna surround her. She gonna be in the middle. She gonna be laughing at first, and then everything gonna get chaotic. She gonna start screaming. She gonna run up out of there butt naked.
Yep.
They gonna be done ripped her top off and everything.
Yep.
And she ain't gonna have no more top, running around trying to cover herself.
And this is how she usually dressed. See? I saw somebody presenting the video initially, and then I didn't even realize that this was actually her username when someone had put it. So I clicked on the username.
But nowadays, men supposed to respect that. You supposed to respect how they dress.
Yeah, she's not getting the same treatment dressed like this. If she dressing like this, you're gonna get treated.
They want full on respect for dressing like that.
Mm-hmm. Look at this.
They want you to open the doors and roll out the red carpet.
Why is it your business why someone does something?
I'm a black man.
Can you not cut me off?
Because you asked me a question.
Well, I wasn't finished with it. Was I finished with the question? Okay, why is it your business as to why someone does something with their body?
See, that's what I just said.
What does that have to do with somebody else? I don't think
So,
you're
so
understanding
black
my
men are the
question.
natural pairs of a black woman.
Niggas said the natural pairs.
Yeah, we are the natural pair of the black woman. So, of course, we care. We want the natural hair.
pairs, guys. I'm looking at my natural pair, and he's over here asking me.
Leaders of black women, but you guys are so combative. You guys are so combative and feminist.
And feminist. I'm very combative and very feminist.
That's how you're acting right now.
Good. I pray.
I mean,
don't
I just
find
came
it
and asked you a
natural
valid
either.
question. You said what?
Nothing. You're good.
So you pray.
So you see there, this is a young woman. What's her future going to be? We're in the end times. What is this young woman's future going to be if she doesn't believe a man should be a leader over her?
Right.
There's the Most High cold, bro. He's so cold, he don't care. Like, see, the Most High is so cold that he will punish you just because you don't fit into the category of like you're not fitting in. You got to fit into how he looks at it. 1 Corinthians, let me get this real quick. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3. But I have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God. So you neglecting, if you're saying you don't need this, the way the Most High gonna look at you, the way the way that Yahweh Shai gonna look at a woman when he shows up, you no head. You know, it's like he gonna look at you like you headless. Like you ever see a headless? If you see in the movie,
right.
A headless creature, that's how you look like spiritually to them, to the Most High and His Son. You look headless. What you gonna say, y'all?
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. That's right. That's on point.
Yeah, you're gonna look headless on them.
That's
Now,
like,
if you have a daughter and your daughter's underneath you, or if you're a sister in the faith and you are a believer but you're not married, you just gotta keep yourself pure and don't, but if you have a man, you're gonna have to submit yourself to him.
That's right.
There's no getting around it because he can't recognize you if you don't have a man. Who's representing? Who are you representing? You're representative. You're the representative of a man. You got to fall under that chain of command. But this girl she says she's combative and feminist. She says, I'm gonna stay combative and feminist. Well, guess what? You're gonna get destroyed. We gotta start telling the sisters that y'all gonna get destroyed.
That's right. That's what Yahweh Shai said. The kingdom is within us. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The kingdom is within you. So if you're not abiding in the order, that means you don't have the kingdom in you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because the order is gonna be, that's what's gonna take place in the kingdom. We're gonna have to represent it right now in order to get into the kingdom. Cause we make up the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not expressing what the kingdom's supposed to be look like right now, then you're not gonna get in it. You're not gonna get that reward. It's just simple as that.
Look, peep this out. You see some of you sisters out there, y'all think y'all gonna be able to be believers and get with a stud, and the Most High gonna recognize the stud, man. Hey. Hey.
One out of three. 1 out of 3. And look who they pictured on there, the Jake woman.
Yep. Look like old girl.
You right. So do.
Oh man. God dang, he's ruthless. Yeah, man. Look, 1 out of every 3, and that's all American women. I guarantee you, if you do it for black women, 50%.
Oh yeah, easy, bro.
If you do the survey for a black woman, it's probably 50%, bro. I'm gonna have to ask Google AI. Hold on. Let me see if it'll come up. What percentage of Black women between 18 and 28 identify as LGBT? Oh, it's not available, but they had an old stat like some years back. They had an old one back years back that they had, I think it was like 25% for Black women, but they don't have the new one. Okay, so here it is. They don't have the new one, but it'll see at 23% back in 2019. Let me go ahead and share this. So what percentage of Black women between 18 and 25 identifies LGBT? They said they don't have the specific stats right now for Black women, but they do know, this is what I just showed, nearly 29% of Gen Z women identifies LGBT. So back in 2018, it says general social survey analyzed by sociologists showed that more than 25% of Black women aged 18 to 34 identify as lesbian or bisexual. The majority of this increase was due to young Black women identifying as bisexual. And you see here on the right, back in 2019, which is 6 years ago, 23% of young Black women identified as bisexual, which is going to be way more now. It's going to be at least probably 35% because Black women tend to be more liberal than the rest of the female population. Okay, and guess what? A stud. I'm dead serious when I say this. We had a so-called sister that literally was still trying to be a believer while being in a lesbian relationship. I kid you not. I had Yahweh Shai and had a whole stud as a partner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dead serious. I got screenshots and everything.
The kingdom is within you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is what's
you gotta
happening.
Think about that. That was a heavy saying when Yahweh Shai said that, man. The kingdom is within you.
Yeah. I'm gonna see TikTok. I'm gonna have to go on TikTok. I don't know what's gonna happen. They said Trump just said they got access to TikTok and the algorithm. Let me see here.
Yeah, Trump and China done had some kind of agreement on that. Something with they. I guess they ain't gonna be so lenient on what can be said on there no more on TikTok.
Come on. Now watch this. This is Kick It with Dre. I'm tired of dating women. Let's go ahead and hear what Drake got to say.
I can't be the only lesbian stud, whatever you want to call it, that is actually getting tired of dealing with women. And not in a way that y'all might be thinking, not like the Jackie Hill Perrys and all the people that pop up, I'm not gay no more, the God deliver me. I'm still very gay. I just am tired of dealing with women. And when I say that, I'm going to explain. So a lot of times when you deal with women that have dated men in the past or consider themselves bi or whatever the case is, it's a lot of expectations that get put on you. You're expected to sit there and essentially be the man in a relationship. If something fucks up, you're supposed to be the one to take care of it. And a lot of times I find myself in relationships with people that I feel like I have to high key thank for them. And it's like, damn, when am I able to like sit back, decompress, and like just relax? I've had like
That's life as a man.
Yeah, that's right.
What you got to say so far?
That's the truth. I mean, you can't you want to be a man, but that's the type of that's what comes with it. You know what I'm saying? You can't just pick and choose what part of being a man you don't want to take on.
Hey, look at this. Look at the comments. Look at the comments.
Just take a break from let them. You dating the wrong what? Women.
Yeah, look at the comments. You're not alone.
Uh-huh.
That's an LGBT flag right there.
Yep.
Let me see if some of them jumped ship and started going back to men. Look at someone say right here. Same, I'm not a stud, but I still experience dating fatigue and meaningless conversation. Look at another one, another stud, young Rocco. I feel all of this heavy. Look at another one, Jade Jabrisky.
Man, I feel that this was nothing but facts. Yeah, she said it's automatically expected for women for you to do that.
Dang. Somebody right here, I've stopped dating over here, and it's been the best thing ever. Look what this person, me too, more money, more time, energy. Funny, you never hear gay men saying, I'm tired of dating men. No, we're not promoting that. Look, I'm tired too. I have 3 on red. Don't have energy to start new talking stage. So these women out here, y'all wearing out these studs, man. Y'all need to get back in order.
Man, not the stud.
Studs is tired of you. There's more. This one too.
Saying the same thing about y'all. Studs is saying the same thing about y'all, and studs are women too. Just in case y'all forgot, like other women with sense, and other men are saying the same thing about y'all. Y'all don't want to get y'all stuff together. Cause I know me being done wrong by women. I know that incentivized me to be a better woman. Cause I don't want to cause nobody, man or woman, hurt that a woman did me. Cause that pain is a pain. Like women be ruthless with they joint. Like a man can hurt you, but a woman will hurt you even more, dog. Like it's just like y'all are savages. I ain't gonna hold you. And
say y'all savages.
Yeah, they would promote that. I'm a savage. That Megan Thee Stallion culture. That's what it is. I'm a savage, classy, bougie, ratchet. That's that Megan Thee Stallion culture. And I'm telling you, she said the dudes is complaining, the studs is complaining. So we're two witnesses, man. 2 witnesses testifying.
It's a twisted world out there, man. It's twisted.
Crazy. These are mainly dudes agreeing though. Trying to see if there's some studs. The other one, I guess, had more studs. But yeah, man, that's unnatural, man. It's supposed to have, again, the order, man, over the. And the thing about it is we're at a point now where our people have taken a hold of them liberal. That's one of the bad things. That's one of the things of the Charlie Kirk situation is that it actually further solidified the left position, the left liberal position of Black people who are against the right, because certain aspects of what the right is saying is correct, right?
Right.
Family, man head of the household, woman submitting, men over the wife and the kids. That stuff is all correct. And unfortunately, the right presents that alongside with white supremacy.
Right.
So Black people kind of feel they can't hold on to those other values, so they rather just hold on to these things. You know what I'm saying?
Esau hold on to it in wickedness, but we can do it and hold on to it in righteousness. You know what I'm saying? Do it the right way. Esau holding on to those values, but he doing it, like you said, with white supremacy. We can do it and hold on to it, in righteousness, following the commandments and statutes, laws, and commandments of the Most High.
Con. Yeah, that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be the representative. That's where it tells you we're supposed to be the light unto the Gentiles, the light unto the other nations. You know, but what happened is so many black women have man, they held down to they're against the patriarchy. They got the same thing. They'll say, oh, you black men, y'all want to be like white patriarchs. Watch this. Oh, I got a good one.
Some of them know that we be right in what we be saying, but just because they a woman, they gonna ride with the side of the woman.
Watch this. It's funny.
Did I ever tell a female how to dress?
What I've seen here tonight? Hell yeah. Hell no. Hell no. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Why'd you say that? Because would you wear that shit to church? I do. I go to church in my living room. God damn it, I wear what I want. But in a brick and mortar? Hell no. Hell no. So yeah, you do tell a woman what she need to be wearing when she leave the house. Just say it. Just say it. I just say it.
What?
Ain't no man telling me what to put on, and I'm married.
Do you think a man should ever tell a female how to dress?
What I've seen here tonight? Hell yeah. Hell no. Hell no.
Wow. That's crazy.
Man. Wow. Yeah, man. The rebellion of the woman is a sign of the end of a people, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's what, like you say, Kevin Samuel used to push that, man. He was like, that's why our people. That's one of the reasons why our people are so, broken and fallen in society, because we don't have that family unit. Yeah, family unit.
Yeah, a lot of stuff is being promoted, man. Like, you have this like false polygamy where it's like the Nick Cannon thing, you know what I mean? It's like Nick Cannon, you can have you have those wives, but when you just willy-nilly creating them, you don't have a structure, you don't have access to all your kids in the same area because their one is living here and there. He don't even remember all the names of his kids. But that's the structure. Yeah. When they press him up on the name of his kids, he can't even name them all. Because he got like 12 of them.
Damn.
And then because he's not around them all the time, he's not calling their name. He's not talking to them all the time. He's not socializing them all the time. But what Nick Cannon is a very small percentage of the men, though. There's more women that are having the problem of not being underneath the man. You watch Medium Man. That's Medium Man. He got all the statistics, man. You know, some of that stuff Kevin Samuels had brought up about the statistics was, man, he debunked a lot of stuff when he brought up that demographics. That changed the whole. Y'all not going to continue saying it's all the men, because the men, we got the data that's showing that the women are more of the problem than the men. And the thing about it, women want to come with the narrative that they are strong and independent, and they're more educated than the men, and they don't need no man. Well, guess what? What you sowed by saying you don't need a man, you're gonna reap by not having a man.
Yeah.
And a lot of you sisters, y'all gonna be in a whole heap of trouble down the line when stuff get bad. Because the thing about it, why would a man trust to be your covering if you wasn't with him before stuff got bad? I'm saying, that's why I tell you, brothers, man, do not fall for the sob stories of some of these women, because a lot of these women are going to be coming into your life or trying to get something from you because they're down bad, but they wouldn't, but it doesn't mean that they're in a good disposition for you to lead them. A lot of times they really just looking for a bailout, and once they feel like they got up, they're gonna leave. They're gonna leave you, man. They're gonna leave you once they feel like they up. And if they don't leave you, they're gonna resent you because they need you.
Looking for that crutch.
Yeah, and if they don't leave you, because then they're gonna resent you because they need you. They're gonna be like, dang, I gotta be here because I need him to survive. And then she's gonna show in the way she treats you. She's not gonna respect you. She's not gonna listen to you. She's just gonna resent you because she's like, dang, I have to be here, and I really don't want to be with this guy. I'd rather be with someone else, but I'm stuck.
Right.
Because that someone else don't really want me, or that someone else ain't got money. That someone else just might ain't got money. But she really want to be with that person. But you the one with the money. So she like, okay, let me stay here. So that's why some of these women, that's why some of these women are going to try and position themselves. Like you see on TikTok, a lot of women complaining about like how they're struggling to find a man. Where all the good men at? How come men don't approach me? Man, women are talking. They're talking. They're looking for that covering. But those are not the kind of woman you really don't even want a woman that's coming from an angle of I need a covering for survival. They should be looking like they need a covering. They need a man that they can be a help me to. They need a man who can cover them spiritually to lead them in their spiritual walk. That's how they should be looking at it. If they're looking at it like I need a man because I don't want to pay bills, I don't want to pay all these bills, they'll use that angle on you, that provider angle, and stroke your ego to make you feel like you're doing something that's beneficial for you as well, when really you're benefiting them. And then they'll still, and then ultimately what will happen? They'll resent you because they don't really want to be with you. They just needed you for survival. You know, so these are some of the warnings you got to look at. Political side of the political right and the left, and also the dynamics, especially if you're unmarried, you're in between, or even if you're a sister, if you're married, you're gonna have to step your game up to be a better woman in these last days. You're gonna have to be a better example. You're gonna have to be able to present yourself a better way, so that way you can kind of navigate the situation. If you're a man, you got to know that you got to continue to pay attention to yourself, get heed to thyself and to the doctrine. You have to understand that you got to also pay attention. Don't let the world take you unawares. Because you know, among Jake don't have the same type of anticipation that things could go bad. One thing about these Edomites, these Edomites actually believe that there's going to be social unrest and chaos soon. Jake don't believe that. Jake is broke.
They prepping. They prep for that. They be ready.
Jake ain't even thinking about that.
They prepping for that. They buying bullets and batteries and all kind of stuff.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, they prepping.
They actually waiting on it. They waiting on it to happen.
Mm-hmm. Man. But I think that's it. It'll be 3 hours in. We'll probably have to do one. About the, let me see what tomorrow's. Yeah, I'll probably have another live stream, Lord willing, later on this week. I'll probably have to preview the title. Yeah, I'll let you know. And I'll put out the preview. It'll be earlier, so that way we don't have to be as late, because we had the Telegram chat. But I'm gonna try and make it to where it's probably gonna be closer to like 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock Central, something like that. So that way we can get some stuff in and be out earlier than expected. But that's it. You got anything else to say?
Nah, man, that's it, man. That's all part of blowing the trumpets, man. Like, it's for a warning. That's what we in right now. We in that time. Like the scripture says, it's a time for everything. We in that time of, warning the people right now. Warning that the kingdom is at hand, man. And you like the scriptures say, you gotta watch. Yahweh Shah said to watch, man, because the kingdom is at hand. Pay attention to the signs, that's out there. We don't know when it's coming. Like you said, we might be 5 years away, might be 2 years away, because Yahweh Shah said it 2,500 years ago. That the kingdom was at hand. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know when it's coming, but we getting close.
You're getting very close. The signs. Yeah. The signs is coming. I'm about to do an Armageddon news. I think the next one we're going to do is going to be like an Armageddon news type update. So we'll talk about the different war conflicts, the economic crisis and things like that. We'll have all the videos. So
Right.
now we got this little studio set up. Actually, I'm kind of getting used to it now. So now I kind of know I could have all the tabs up and I could just select the tab. So yeah, we're gonna be definitely gonna be more on point. So the next one will probably be Armageddon News. I'll set up the I'll let you know the day. More than likely, I'm thinking we'll probably do maybe Wednesday night. I'll probably try and have something scheduled.
Cool.
So I'll get some data together, some different information, and then Lord willing, we'll be able to jump on that. It'll probably be a lot shorter. We'll probably make it like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, because I'll have all the information ready to go. And then if you got anything, just prep up something. You can send me links or just or like send me like a YouTube link or like a Instagram, and I can have that up ready as well. All right, Akim. So that'll be it, man. We want to give all glory and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, grace and mercy to the hopeful elect scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom.
Shalom.